humans are returning to this tranquil valley, and it's all thanks to me. I may not be smarter than the average bear, but I do know a thing or two about cooking, crafting, and building comfortable lodgings. Using these hidden talents, Hank the bear is able to transform this old dinky shed, abandoned farmhouse, and even the ski resort that's fallen into disrepair into luxurious 5-star hotels, whilst also putting time aside, uncovering the dark, disturbing secrets that the seemingly peaceful valley hides. I played 100% of Bear and Breakfast. The story begins with a simple question that I feel personally attacked by. Why can't I ever fall asleep on time? As Hank, who's me I guess, ponders about this, his hand goes very cold all of a sudden, as cold as those icy blue eyes staring at me. He could feel a pressure on his forehead, a crushing sensation, and this dark figure with glowing eyes continued to stare from far away. Weathered stones and dry wood surrounded it, but with a sudden jolt of lightning, it vanished. In the darkness, Hank comes onto the stage, a very cuddly looking fella, but the atmosphere is bleak and empty. Hello? I can't move. Ever had sleep paralysis? Yeah, this is it. Do not, a voice echoes. Don't what? See? 'Cause that's already happening. A cheeky fella, ain't he? The voice continues to echo your standard game tutorial. WASD to move around. Well, that's convenient, isn't it? I'm instructed to find a bed, so I aimlessly walk around until I finally find a comfy place where I am permitted to sleep. Oh yeah, sure, I'll just take a nap in this air deathbed, shall I? At least it is comfortable, but that voice's final words for me is, don't wake, accompanied with these chilling eyes still looming over me. A strong start, I like it. Good-o. Mate, that is it. No more dumplings before bed. I am finally in the world of the living. I make sure to run around like some spastic dog. A bear, I guess. I explore this house looking for Mum. I see my bear guy, called Hank of course, in the menu. He is a very friendly looking fella, but now he looks a little bit nervous. I'm up, Mum. Mama, also known as Margaret, says that she's glad my hibernation hasn't kicked in. Hank tells her that he's having some trouble sleeping. Have you tried thinking less, she says. I see where Hank gets his cheekiness from. We share this place with two others, Annie and Will, and I go and greet them in the most cordial manner. However, it is not well received. It seems like Hank is the early riser and everybody else isn't, out of these three anyways. Apparently our plan today is to go and explore. Mum said that we can go across the creek looking for mushrooms, or we live for the hunt, I guess. But it could be a dangerous one. Mum says that we are to hit the black moss. We need to go find some alligator weed. Okay, righto. So under the cover of darkness, I waddle Hank into the direction of our destination. The three friends had found themselves farther than they've ever gone before, past the soothing meadows and the quiet streams of the thicket. Annie, the Karelian dog, brave but clumsy. Will, the poor Will, grumpy on the outside, but surprisingly even more so on the inside. And me, Hank the brown bear, cheerful and curious, but maybe a little concerned about the promise he made back at home. And no, Mom, I'm definitely not going to wander too far in an adventurous fashion. I promise. The Black Moss area is even darker than the previous. Well, at least there's a few lanterns strewn about, and I do find what I'm looking for. Ooh, that sounded like it could have been bad. We'd better go, but we haven't found the thing for your mom yet. I'm with Hank, let's see where this sound came from. No, that's not what I meant. Oh man, Will just doesn't care, does he? Hank tries to be a good bear, but the other two scurry off towards that sound. I enter an area called Timber Crossing. I come across a luxurious outhouse. Oh mate, if you're desperate enough, anything is going to look luxurious, that's for sure. Anyways, I find my friends and they're standing next to a... What is that, a shark? Oh, looks like a robot with a built-in speaker. Finn is his name. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Grab opportunity by the throat and showed who's boss. This strange shark had a shiny bouncy exterior and it wore cool sunglasses. A little grey speaker box was strapped around its neck, blurting out nonsense. It reminded Hank of Will's TV. And next to it, a little car had a big advert for something called Porn Voyage. Nothing weird about this. Finn extends us the opportunity. opportunity to be part of an electrifying enterprise. You there, fine gentleman in the orange coat, also known as a bear. How would you like to own the next minor share in the next major maneuver? Well, I'm not into anything major, but I do like sharing. Finn reiterates, the share is very minor. What are we sharing exactly? Honestly, Hank is still trying to figure out how the shark is talking. A Pawn Voyage is a multinational, multi-layered, multi-year friend corporation, offering secured touristy adjacent goods and services in exchange for valuable personal collateral. Hank is lost, mate. Will is also honest, never had him to begin with. The shark is looking for new ventures and locations. They will take on any new place or premise, no matter how run down or decrepit. This is all for humans to have a short holiday. We have the opportunity to offer our homes or houses to become a new Pawn Voyage premium premise, so long as it's brought up to a minimum standard, which frankly no one enforces, of course. Well, what do we get out of this? Barely enough to alter our monthly income. Will sums this up for us. Human, back, money, give good. I go ahead and tell Finn that we're interested, and good news, we are automatically accepted into this scheme. I am now bound by a contract, and I have to prepare a place in 3 days. Does anyone know anything about human houses? Oh, chuck them under a bus maybe? Tony knows a thing or two about building. He's in sawdust, and he does have master woodworking skills. It is still nighttime, by the way, and Hank looks pretty tired. So what's this thing? Can I just sleep the night? Do I literally sleep on the ground, do I? Okay, well there you go. Well, I am a bear, and I should be able to plop myself down and sleep wherever. Shortly later, I'm in sawdust, and I'm directed to go into this big warehouse-looking place. Hey buddy, how are we? It's Tony. My god, a bear. Yes, a bear. It's just me, sir. Hank from the thicket. Oh goodness, you can talk. Yes, mate, I can talk. I'm just yanking your tail, boy. How's your mother? Goodness me, do all the animals pull Hank's leg like this? Good-o. Hank tells Tony about the shark that's bringing humans back to the valley. Oh, we haven't seen those in a while, have we? Tony praises their craftsmanship, saying that whatever they made was always perfect, and when he took over this mill, he had stumbled across plenty of schematics. It felt like discovering artifacts. Can you make all of these, Tony? Oh yeah, once you have the paperwork, she'll be alright, mate. Tony seems excited about this opportunity to fix up an old place, put his mind to the challenge, trying to do what humans can do. I log in for another session of play. The visuals in this game are very nice. Oh, don't listen to your mom. Meet Finn, the Pawn Voyage, okay, so meet Finn. Wait, didn't I do that last time? Yeah, you did meet Finn. A couple of late achievements for some reason. And yeah, the visuals in this game are awesome. I love them. This is also me gathering some plank piles for Tony. This stack has 3 types. There is a variety in this game. I explore a little bit of the forest here, also known as sawdust, as indicated by the name next to the map at the top right corner. Yes, Tony, I did find all the wood that we need. Perfect. Good job, he says. Oh, cheers, mate. I literally just picked it up off the ground. Amazing. I'm back at Timber Crossing, where I met Finn and I snoop around. I meet Oliver, who's rambling about some stolen sandwiches. I assure you fella, I am not Yogi Bear. And here at last I see Tony, outside of this random place. Wait, is this the place I offered to the Pawn Voyage? Goodness me. Will describes it as an old shed. Well, task number 1, clean it up. As I do that, the junk in here can be repurposed. There's some wooden stuff in here. I don't know what this is, but when I pick it up, I see that it's called valuables. Okay, sure. Did I clean up in there? I did indeed. And now I fixed this old workbench outside, which will allow me to enter a build menu to do some actual construction. Speaking of which, Tony gets to his quick bit, and he does some touch-ups to the building. Now it is Hank's turn again. Once I interact with this crafting bench, the game will pauses and I'm free to do some crafting and construction type stuff. A crafting menu first. I can make a bed. A shabby pallet bed. It has a comfort and a decoration score, and the materials required for it down below. As a bear, I'm currently just following the plans laid out to me. I didn't think it could look worse than the schematics, but here we are. Mate, I'm about to slap you. I'm a bear doing his best. Thank you very much. Oh, I mean, excellent. You're doing so well. Yes, that's what I thought. Better than mine back home. That's just... Oh, this bird just doesn't give an F. It is time to make my first bedroom. I'm glad that I've played Traveler's Rest in my day. It's the same process here. I choose the comfort category and I make a bedroom from here. I can make this room however big I want. This shed is tiny. What is that, like 8 by 10 squares maybe? How many rooms can I squeeze in here? Well, the prompt says that a bedroom needs to be at least 2 by 3. Yeah, that's literally big enough for a bed and a door to open. Harry Potter had more room under the staircase than this, for goodness sake. Well, at least this human will still feel a false sense of superiority by having someone around that they can look down upon. To that end, a little sign and book area where they can feel welcome and that they are number one in this world. So I go ahead and I make this front desk, and I chuck it close to the front door. I think that was backwards, but oh well. I check it out and I see the Dinky Shed option on the left. There's also 4 other undiscovered ones, meaning I will have 5 places to build down the line. But right now, this Dinky Shed is ready. I should go ahead and talk to Sharky Boy. But what is that next to him? A van with some blueprints for sale, it seems. A new bed, a wooden wardrobe, and a footrest recipe. Alright then, that is gonna be for later. Right now, I let Mr. Toothy Hair know that we are good to go. The time had come to unleash something both intriguing and unfortunate on Silver Valley. People. These dewy, mostly hairless creatures were a controversial topic in the neighborhood. Some thought they were godly beings, forging the world with their magical machines, mostly cause they left behind food and other stuff that animals liked. Others would throw a fit of rage, calling them unqualified harbingers of doom. It's a bit dramatic if you asked Hank. All he knew for sure was that his mum always said, keep your distance. Yeah, so much for that. Regardless, I can now start earning hardly life-changing income. Mate, that hits hard. I enter the visitor details menu on my Dinky Shed. Bedroom number 1, currently empty. Here is some guest requests now. Shanna Shaw. She wants to stay for 1 day, and she expects a comfort of 1 and a decoration score of 4. Roizen Vargas. 2 days with a comfort level of 3 and also 4 decoration. Let's take the one night gal for the moment. The bedroom should be fine, except I'm just shy of meeting her decoration expectation, but yeah, she'll be alright, mate. A human is on the way, Finn. Congratulations! I'm on my way to financial independence. In actuality, I'm much closer to financial ruin. Bloody hell, mate, lighten up. Finn continues, saying that the prestige of this place is ugly. I need to add some decorations to make it look nice. Okay, sure, I go ahead and look around, as my first guest isn't even here yet, and I find this pen on a string. Yeah, that's mine now. It was also a quest item, so yeah, gimme. I then go ahead and have a conversation with a human. Well, at least this guy likes me. He says I'm a cute fella, I like your hair. Soft bear noises. Oh, what a kind looking bud you are. I'm Oliver. I run the buses here if it wasn't evident. Look at me. Of course it's not evident. Bears don't take the bus. Do you? Do you take the bus? I've been in a broken down tractor before. Does that count? What's a bus? Skeptical bear noises. Oh, I like that image, eh? It seems for now that whenever Hank communicates with someone, he just makes bear noises, and the human just continues to have a chat back. You know what? Ollie is a legend for it. He actually asks me, a wild bear I would imagine to him, to deliver a letter to a friend. Sure, I'll go ahead and do that, why not? I'll look for this beanie person. This is not Beanie, but a raccoon, and his name is Took. He calls me a big fella. I agree. Took is the most handsome curator of crap this side of the valley. This is his selling pitch, mind you, and this is Took's garbage. Remember those valuables I picked up? It's trash, literally trash that humans throw away, and I can swap it for decorative items here. My currency is human garbage. I like it, good stuff. I go ahead and buy a few things. A welcome mat, a carrot from the looks of it, a lamp, a rug, and a mirror. I also hear a ding, and I see that my guest has arrived. Oh, is this her? Oh, this must be her. What's with the unhappy face? Oh, the table's the wrong way around. Okay, so she's happy there. Can I quickly move that table? After I fixed the front desk, this guest, forget her name already, she showed another scared face. Well, if I stayed in that room, I'd be scared too. I endeavored to make this room bigger and also add some more rooms. But right now I couldn't figure out how to delete this room, or edit it as I found out later. I was making a second room surrounding the first one, which was really weird. It is also rude, changing the room when there's already someone booked inside of it, so stop messing around with it. What's-her-face might get very upset. She's distraught enough already, so let's cool it. I go ahead and slap down some decorative garbage I bought from Took. A few of them actually fit in my guest's room. The decoration was 4 before and now it's 7, so it's well within her expectations. Really low bar if I'm completely honest. I go ahead and I make an extra room. This one is bigger and I get a few extra things from Took's garbage place, with which I make this place look incredibly fancy, especially the second room. I am gonna have to upgrade that first room when what's-her-face buggers off. Ashana, of course. She leaves tomorrow and now I have 2 bedrooms total. Royzen Vargas looks like she will enjoy a stay here. Finn is pleased with the decorations I've added. I mean, he says that the value of this new property has increased by 0.25%. Mate, all I heard was progress. More prestigious properties will earn better results, so keep up the good work. He said work with a delay there. Anyways, I now have to accommodate 3 humans here to progress his request, but I go ahead and I get some shut-eye. My guest wakes up happy, but then she remembers where she is and she gets that terrified face again, and then she walks away. This is the daily summary of new requests, how much money I made from how many people and how many are leaving, and finally, how many are now arriving. Here is my new victim. They always seem to be happy and then they're scared when they see me. Yeah, that's probably gonna be me. I also see that right now only bedroom 2 is occupied. Backtracking to last night for a second when I accepted this last. Both rooms were empty because my first customer was leaving the next day. Whenever I accept a reservation, they arrive the following day. So I could have filled both bedrooms this day. Right now I accept Mr. Marlin here and he will arrive tomorrow. All this means is that bedroom 1 is currently vacant all day. It does give me a moment to clean the place up, I guess. Plus I get some time to set up a 3rd bedroom. Now while I am waiting, I have some things to do, apparently. I'm on a fetch quest for Tony. And while I'm looking around, I see a radio tower here in Sawdust. Inside I see this ranger gal called Sabine. She asks me how I got here, and I respond with my feetsies. Burbling bear noises. Good, physical activity is always a great idea. Wait, you can understand me? I've been around these woods for a while. I think I get the gist of what you're saying. Oh yeah, then what am I saying right now? Actual literal bear noises. That was pretty unintelligible. I guess I could use the practice. Now I feel bad, I'm sorry. I'm just yoking ya. I'm yoking ya. Goodness me. I am enjoying the dialogue exchanges in this game. It turns out Sabine is Beanie, who Oliver had sent me to deliver some post. It was a piece of map fragment that those two had put together of the valley. She thought that it had burnt up in the fire. Hank also knows about this fire, and that he didn't know that it was that big. I have no idea what fire they're talking about, but Beanie goes ahead and gives me a compass. It might come in handy. Actually, it definitely will, because I also get the map that she just received, so I now have my own map. This is the overview of the game world. I have been to 4 places thus far. Currently I'm in Sawdust, pillaging and plundering all materials that I can see. I also helped myself to some logger tools in Tony's house. Beanie must have thrown away an old computer because there's one in this bin, and there's also a book of spelling in Annie and Will's room. It is the next morning and I stood at my shed because I wanted to see the people come in. Today 2 new guests have arrived. I shall welcome the guests. Hello fellas. Don't give me that, mate. Oh, come on. There are currently 3 active guests right now, and they're all leaving tomorrow. With visitors comes rubbish, of course. Filthy cretins. I go ahead and give this fella those items, and he fixes up this whole building. Amazing what you can do with so little. However, I do believe this building serves only as a, look, there's a nice building here. No one ever comes in. I guess it makes the place look more prestigious. Now, because I delivered that post for Oliver, he says as thanks, he wants to get the buses on the road again. If I can fix some bus stations around the map, then he will unlock the fast travel for me. As Finn puts it, the world is at my fingertips. Who knows, in a year or 10, I might be on my way to the minimum tax bracket. Thanks, mate. However, I am done with Finn for here anyways. He says that if I want to add any more locations, just speak with him there. In his shadow is this management quest board thing, and this will give me a new goal to strive for. For example, simply let 2 more people stay here and I'm gonna get myself a new pair of pants. I go ahead and fix this bus station, and when I find the other ones, I should be able to travel back and forth. I could also fix this toilet. I see that it will give me a +1 request per day. Speaking of, that first visitor had left a review, a 5-star review. Great, a lovely experience and great host. We'll be booking in advance for my next trip. Yeah, clearly I'm a natural. I also see that she stayed 1 day and she paid me 156 gold, which is quite nice. This receipt breaks down that payment and how I scored with my comfort and decoration stats for her over there. So a short time later, I now have 5 bedrooms. Let's do this. Look at all these humans dropping in. 2 more people have stayed here, and the sign says I have proven myself barely above minimum expectations. However, as I did this, guests will now have a higher expectation of this location. That last one is important, but at least I got some new pants. Did I just put on pants, did I? Okay, sure. The next task is to get 3 more 5-star reviews. Yeah, that's gonna be easy, mate. Now, in all this excitement, I have forgotten something, right? Something about alligator weed? Any minute now, Hank will remember? Oh, look, he's trying really hard. You got it, mate. Oh, there it is. And we quickly make our way back to Mom. My goodness gracious. Are you alright? Did something happen? I'm okay, Mom. Nothing happened. Alright, good. What was in that thick head of yours? And you? I didn't even say anything. You put him up to this again, didn't you? Will didn't do anything. We weren't even gone that long. It's been days. It has been like 4 days, but I just realized that this wolf is like looking cross-eyed. Humans are coming back. That's right, humans are coming back, and Margaret doesn't see anything wrong with that. I wonder where they all went. Apparently very few humans have been around ever since now? Plus, for Hank, this feels like he's doing something nice for a change. I'm getting myself some rest, and I get a visitor. It's a small rat called Anton. Apparently he's here because I made the right impressions to the right people. This one is a trash-talking associate, so probably took. Furthermore, Anton invited me to visit him at his place, which is on the old road. I can find him at the dump. Until then, I have been given a hat. Okay. Apparently I'm going to wear this cap as well. Oh, isn't that adorable? I like how you can still see his ears. Oh, they thought about that. That's amazing. Back at my shed, I meet someone new in the darkness. Her name is Barbara, and I am indeed a big fella. Who are you? As I convey this in questioning bear noises. Barbara has been the keeper of these woods since she could tell a Yoppie Jeffrey from a blue shag. The hell does that mean? Anyways, she's noticing a few more people are coming around these days, almost like something is drawing them back here. Confident bear noises is used to convey that I indeed have something to do with this. She is a fan of my work, and she's hoping to see more of my efforts soon. Oh, by the way, look at that, I have twin fellas staying here the next day. Do you remember how that quest board said that people will have higher expectations? Yeah, this fella is expecting a decoration score of 23 for his room. Yeah, nah mate, not gonna happen. Get out of here. Now, down south, A24, and my quests are indicating for me to go down this way. But before I do, I have a good think about my little shed here. Some of those people are expecting a lot more for their stay. The rooms are small and I can't fit a whole lot in there. I am gonna have to revamp this entire place, I think. Could I expand the entire shed itself? I was seeing if I could, but instead I find my secret bear stash. I could always store some stuff in here if I needed to. I didn't find a way to make the shed bigger, so I went south to A24. There is a dump here, must be where Anton lives, but I simply can't pass on this. Look at all this garbage I can collect. I find Anton and Claire here in the middle of a discussion. Apparently they have lost someone. His name is Wade and the third person of the party. I am asked to find him. Anton is going to make me a deal. He likes that humans are coming back and that this dump will come in handy for me with this endeavor. So I go ahead and hit the Black Moss, but I enter it from the southeast this time. There's this house in the swamp area and an alligator wearing mage robes. Sorry to bother you, Charlotte, but I'm looking for a friend. He's a rat and his name is Wade, and she is shocked that someone came looking for that thing. Oh yeah, she knows where my Wade is. He's right here, having a conversation with this tadpole looking thing called Twiggy. Wade is surprised that Mr. A sent me. Usually he never lets anyone in his dump, so I must be something special. Apparently now Wade has become special to Charlotte in terms of value. She wants me to trade charcoal lilies for him. These are the specimens I'm looking for. They grow here in Black Moss. I gave them to Charlotte. She's a half-tailed alligator that struck Hank as someone who's always good at trying to be scary, but it didn't always stick the landing because she is accompanied by Twiggy, her tadpole buddy. Anyways, charcoal lilies for Wade, and the exchange is done and he's safely home now. The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. Is that exasperated? Geiger. I'm not dead, okay? He's not dead. Hey, buddy. Alright, Anton, what do you want, mate? Claire is the muscle of this group. Anton is clearly the hard-ass boss, and Wade, who is a problem child, is always needing supervision. So, what's the reward for bringing back the kid? These guys are clearly in this big dump. Lots of goodies to pilfer, which I get to right away. Glass, copper and iron metal, electronics, rubber, plastics, that sort of stuff, and it all gradually respawns. This is the recycler, and to keep it brief, any crafted items I have I can toss in here and get 50% of the materials used to make it. Good-o. There is also other new resources in this area, like stone brick for example. I fixed this other bus stop down here and I can fast travel to save some time. It's southwest of Timber Crossing and I'm back there instantly. I love me some fast travel. At my front desk I see a new location has opened, the motel on A24. I need to go find that actually, but I want to solidify this area first. I've had another 3 5-star reviews, so Mr. Management Board is pleased and the guests have a high expectation now. However, it now wants me to build 2 level 2 bedrooms in this area. Wait, there's different level bedrooms? I only see the 1 bedroom option I can make at the crafting table, but I do see that the furniture I can make has levels attached to them. This shabby bed being level 1 for example. I waited around until I had no active guests and I started to play around with the shed. I expanded that 1 room and I now had 5 rooms in here, 2 of them 3 tiles larger than the other ones. I also discovered that doors and windows don't cost me anything, so I can make as many of them as I want. I also can't sell any decorative items back to Took. All transactions are final it seems. That is okay with me. I see that this Pawn Voyage thing has another bed, a wardrobe and this footrest for sale. I can get these now. I empty my storage into my bear stash because I was starting to feel cluttered with all this junk on me. Luckily I did discover that things will stack, which is quite pleasing. I've gone ahead and bought these recipes. The beds are both level 1, but the shabby wooden one has a bit more decoration value, so the new beds go into all these rooms. These footrests and wardrobes also give good comfort and decoration value. I'm starting to see that these items are like a set. They all need to go into a room. However, the wardrobe is huge. Even the footrest is quite big I thought. This thinking was misguided, and it pains me to see that my past self is throwing these furnitures into the recycler at this point. At least I get 50% of materials back. People only need a bed and lots of decorations I thought. That's what these things are. They only bring up the decoration value, so all my rooms end up looking like this. However, spacing is important. I can't even get into some of these rooms. I clean it up a little bit more and these are the final scores. Everything has a flat 5 comfort and varying decorative scores, but I'm actually shocked to see that when I want to bring people in, none of my rooms meet the comfort standard. The pendulum has swung back to the furniture items. They are a set. They give both comfort and decoration, so I really need to start with these items and then branch out into the decorative ones. So how's it looking right now? I may have made a huge tiny little mistake. Oh dear, okay, that's perfectly fine. So, like an idiot, I undo the last 30 minutes of play. Oh, that is so funny. Oh no. Come in and stay, people, but the places are shit, but they look nice. it did look very nice. Now it's completely empty. And a short time later, focusing on bedroom furniture first and then decorations, I have 3 good looking rooms, a comfort of 10, which is the maximum I could do right now, and 24 minimum decoration. But even then, there are people with 14 or even 23 comfort requirements. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no to them specifically. So for this entire day, I have no patrons. They don't come until the next day. Remember? I head back to A24, and with my screen zoomed out, I look for this apparent motel. I do find Finn here, and again, he starts this location like last time. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. I can't believe I'm following a fish tooth around. I do it for this. Okay, so I need to check. Okay, so this is the place. Okay, so this is the place. It is significantly bigger than the other place. Oh, mate. A bigger place simply means more garbage or valuables, and they've all accumulated in this place, so I give it a good clean. Once I'm done, the sign says that I need to gather some materials for the reconstruction. In all this, I spy Barbara loitering up there, watching me from afar. She continues to watch me as I steal away with what I need. I do see another building here. I have no idea what this place is, but I clean it up anyways. It's a short time later, and the motel is ready to go, and I get an achievement for this. I discovered that this bear stash here is connected to my other one, so it's going to be a universal storage depot, which is quite nice. I begin to follow Finn's questline to start fixing this place up, and I do meet someone new in all this. Gus. Hey Gus, hi. Alright. In the middle of the desert in a rundown metal shack lived Gus, the most handsome possum on A24, probably the only possum. Seemed like digging through junk was the main activity around here, and he was no rookie. Although, by the looks of it, Gus's primary concern remained his charm and driving wheel. Okay. Gus seems to be a possum that doesn't like compliments. He likes to keep the language foul, which is fine for him. He also doesn't mind humans coming back, so long as they don't burn the entire place down again. It's another time I'm hearing about some fire way back when. Right now, let's get to this motel. Not just bedrooms. I'm seeing 2 new rooms here. Hygiene and special. What's all this? I start playing around with the space I have here, and I make my first bathroom. I see that it has an area of effects sort of thing, and I don't know what this means. But up there, I see that a toilet, sink, and a bath are needed to make this room. So, okay, it's for each individual bedroom, is it? I try to make a bathroom in a bedroom, but I can't overlap these designs. Are these private bathrooms or are they communal ones? I opted first for private bathrooms, and here you are. This is looking like royalty. I have my first guest, and well, I am a bear, and giving privacy apparently doesn't apply to me. Okay, cool. So she's doing she's doing her business as you normally would. Thank you very much. Okay, sure, whatever. Now the thing is though, she's got her own little bathroom, perfectly good. Now also, very important, the door had a block sign on it, didn't it? That means the developers intended these bathrooms to be communal, which is actually nice for me. It'll save some space, but how am I going to do this? Bedrooms, bathrooms, and a special other room. That is what the area of effect means. If that overlaps a bedroom, it means that bedroom will get the hygiene value. Okay, it's time to awaken my inner architect. 2 bedrooms per 1 bathroom, and in the center I'm going to make this distillery room, which I discovered was that special room so people can enjoy a beverage. As I'm following Finn's questline to get these rooms up and running, I unlocked a new level of bedroom furniture. They're obviously better than the first level. They've got more stats, so this is how I make that level 2 bedroom, for example. Now, how much better are we talking here? Ooh, oh my god. Yes, look at that bloody rustic delight bed, mate. That's huge. Okay, so I'm gonna have to wait until people have come and gone. That jovial laughter was because I wanted people to enjoy their stays, bugger off, and then I will revamp all the old furniture with the next stuff I just found. The newer beds are actually bigger than the old ones, so I'm gonna have to make the bedrooms bigger in the future to accommodate for this growth. Again, going forward, I need to focus on the furniture in the room first, to get that much needed comfort, and then any other little decorative things I want to add. Guess what this toilet is called? It's called a crappy toilet recipe, goodness me. Oh wow, okay, the patrons can sit on a crappy toilet. Bloody hell, mate. Well, a dunny is a dunny, and a short time later, the entire place is set up. I'm actually pretty happy with how this one came along. I grab a bunch of random people to come and stay in this new place, and I sleep outside. Alright, let's go to bed. We'll just sleep here outside on the ground. I like how your bear can just sleep anywhere you want him to sleep. Okay, here we go. Now, this place is looking mighty fine. It's ready to accept guests, and I'm keen as a bean. I want to see the people interact with these bar stools and see how it works. Okay, let's see how these... Look at those wobbly arms they have. At least this one's walking with a, more pep in her step. Good morning to you. Hi, I'm a bear. It's good morning to you too. Guten Tag. Bonjour. Ah, yes, so they have to sign in there. Gotcha, so that's the purpose of this thing. Okay, alright, into your rooms, people. Just going to see what you are doing. What was that thing there? She was unhappy with something. I don't know what she was unhappy about. It almost looked like she didn't reach her bed. Maybe she didn't like decoration. Oh, well, that's her problem. Okay, so these people are going in here. Okay, so they are making themselves a drink, are they? Okay, well, they're making themselves a drink. This can probably sit against the wall, and this thing can go on the corner. Okay, that works. So they can sit on the bars. They can look at each other. Yeah, no, that's fine. The motel seems to be traveling just fine, so I go ahead and make all the new level bed things for the shed, and a little while later I have made all this new furniture. The rooms now have a 19 comfort and 26 minimum decoration. At this time I see some guests have an extra thing, like this fella here. He has an extra comfort expectation. This means that his need for comfort will be through the roof. See there, he wants 23, which I can't do. So okay, some customers are just going to be picky and a no from me. I also didn't notice this at the time, but whenever I continued the quest line with each area. You will eventually do this, but I was doing it rather quickly, and the expectations of guests at the current locations was getting higher as a result, and I was soon not able to provide those expectations because I was lacking the higher furniture levels. Anyways, here I am standing around enjoying the fruits of my labor when I realized I've made a huge mistake. I just realized these people do not have lights in the toilet, so they're shitting in the dark. I'm a bear, I can get away with this. While someone is in there, this bear can turn on this light for them, allowing them to bear witness to the situation. Everyone staying at the motel expects some sort of hygiene, but all the other comforts are not so required for now. But this little tap icon means that they want a bar in the area, and I've also catered to that. As you can see, the reviews are flying in. So far, 5-star reviews, so looking good. There are currently no toilets at the shed, but I fix up this dunny outside, and in doing so, it also increases the amount of guest requests I get per day. So after improving the prestige in the shed area and handing in the quest, my next task is building one level 3 bedroom and catering to 2 people with the pamper trait, meaning that comfort thing. How many levels of furniture are there? I awake on the morning of day 16 to see that I've raked in just under $2,000 from all my guests this day. It's moving along quite nicely. I do some resource gathering in this dump, and I got very sad to see that the next quest for me in A24 is asking me to make 5 level 2 bedrooms in this area. It made me melancholy because, as you can see, I struggled quite a bit to fit 4 bedrooms in here. I'm gonna ignore that for a moment and I go ahead and go see Barbara. She rambles a little bit about the past of the valley. She has never seen so many animals before, but here we are and apparently we're running the place. We're probably decently qualified for this as well, she says. Just after Barb leaves, Beanie shows up. She says a lot more people are showing up because of that shark thing, and that she needs to go to the north to keep an eye on the dam in the lake area. To that end, she invited me to come up to High Lake, which sounds pretty good to me. Before that, the 5th room in my motel. I needed some extra wood, so I quickly go and loot some, and this is how I squeezed my 5th bedroom into this place. It feels so goddamn wrong, but oh well. Guests will obviously have a higher expectation now, and I get a wristwatch for this endeavor. I can now tell the time next to my minimap, which is really quite helpful to know when my bear can fall asleep on the road. Beautiful. Alright, so these people are going to stay perfectly fine. Oh mate, look at all this rubbish, it's gorgeous. Never thought I'd say that. I was gonna say, do I need to flush toilets or anything for these people? Because I'm not cleaning up after them. I say that as I'm cleaning up after them. Ah, that's funny. I do in fact do the cleaning, and every night I check both the registers for this area and the other one to make sure people are coming in the mornings, to keep up that business of course. And as a result, I get the achievement to earn 10,000 coins this day. Absolute legend, Hank. I'm at 7 out of 43 achievements for this game at this point, and I wander myself all the way north to High Lake. Straight away. Ooh, that's a nice little portrait. I really like the visuals in this game. It's actually really nice. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Hello, hello, how are we? Well, I never. What do you mean? You asked me to come here. Look who waddled their way up to the windy road. Windy road. Windy? Windy. You know, windy and windy is spelled the same. No wonder people struggle with English. English is in fact my second language. But anyways, I wobbled my way up here. A beanie says this High Lake area is the most beautiful in the valley. I will come to agree. I follow this dirt path, fix this bus stop for fast travel, and I find a first in this game. Ingredients. Okay, so cooking is gonna become a thing in this game. Why is this such a small game? Like, I'm having a ton of fun with this one. Oh yeah, I'm having a blast with this one. Here's the farmhouse, by the way, in this location. Oh mate, look at this place. That's amazing. Oh, I'm gonna like this. I tried to talk to Finn, but the game won't progress with him. It looks like I need to talk to someone else first, so I go ahead and try to find a goat, I guess. Ooh, oh my god. No way. Why is it that as soon as I see like farming in this area, I get way too excited? Well, a lot of the games I played in the past have involved farming to a degree. I do enjoy myself a good farming game. Anyways, I meet Julia in this house, who is immediately defensive, asking me not to take anything from this garden as there isn't enough. She apologizes for being so rude, and simply says I'll have to find my picnic basket elsewhere. I assure Julia I'm not here to take, but in fact to do the opposite. Always caught by surprise, Julia the goat was the only remaining resident in this huge estate. She seemed very invested in her vegetable garden, but the rest of the property didn't concern her as much. Ooh, well that is right up my alley. The intense aroma coming from her house signaled a knack for cooking, a hunch reinforced by Hank's rumbling tummy. I like it. There's cooking in this game as well. Goodness gracious me, what a bloody hidden gem. I asked Julia about this old house, if it's occupied, and that it could use a fresh coat of paint. She doesn't mind me looking around, so long as I stay away from her garden. Okay, well, she's a very territorial goat it seems. I was about to investigate this farmhouse when I decided to have a bit of a stroke trying to read some tea names. Chamomile tea? Chamomile? How the hell do you say that? Chamomile? Well, there's chamomile. Chamomile? That is definitely not how you say that. Spicy linden tea, I can definitely say that one. Yeah, it's pronounced chamomile, and I'll definitely take these. After that, I'm able to start the quest line here in High Lake now with Finn. First things first, of course, I give this place a good clean, and I discovered something while I did it. Oh my god, there's a downstairs, or an upstairs! Oh, I am excited, mate. I am so excited for this. Okay, I'm really getting into this game right now. Yeah, it is a good one, and in no time, the farmhouse is ready to go. Julia is impressed by my craftsmanship and my cleanliness, though she's very skeptical about me following a shark's instructions and bringing people back to the valley. It is a bit far-fetched, I don't blame her. I want to try and win her trust. Something you need by chance? She says that she needs sage, which grows in Darkgrove. It's supposedly beyond sawdust. Before that, Finn also suggests that I set up an outdoor area in this location, but I need to speak to the right person on how to do it. I'm gonna head to Darkgrove first. I'm pretty keen on gaining Julia's trust. The area lives up to its name. It's quite dark and ominous. I wander around picking up anything and everything, and I eventually see the sage that I'm looking for. I also find a quest item here in this broken car, a bag of seeds. I actually find a lot of quest items really early in this game. I am exploring these areas quite a bit looking for materials. Anyways, I'm back in High Lake. I walk past Barbara, who has woken up to smell the coffee. Oof, I love myself a cup of coffee. I locate Beanie over here, and I tell her about my problem, that guests don't simply want to roll in the grass until the grass smells like them, which is apparently what Hank likes to do. She recommends that we make a bit of a camping spot. People don't mind getting their bums dirty and getting some smoke in their faces from a campfire. So back at the estate, this area would make a great campsite. 5 seconds later, it is ready for exactly that. Beanie shares her words of wisdom on how Hank should make this campsite feel. Remember, I'm a bear and I'm catering to humans. I go ahead and I make a small campfire, some sitting logs and a small station, and all of which gets slapped into this little designated camping site. Oh Julia, Julia, where art thou, Julia? Oh, right here, where I saw you last. To be honest, she didn't think I'd be coming back. She almost looks guilty for setting me up to Dark Grove. It was a piece of cake. You see, bears don't have to worry about underwear. Can I be completely honest? You know what this response who this reminded me of? This confident face. Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie. Because I eat cereal, Eddie. This guy just gives me the vibe of Ed. Maybe a bit smarter, of course, but god damn it. Yep, this is Ed for me. Julia brings us back on track. If we're serious about fixing this place up, she can give me a bit of help. She's allowing me access to her vegetable garden because she knows that humans will want to eat food and she can teach me how to cook. Before that, she teaches me a few dining room furnitures. I was reading the tutorial, but obviously I overstayed my welcome. I need to build a functional dining room for her, perfectly fine. Dining rooms are rooms where... Are you pushing me out, are you? I'm not walking right now, she's literally pushing me. Oh, that's beautiful. After I did a little bit of reading, I go ahead and pilfer this vegetable patch. I find some tomatoes, potatoes, corns, onions and herbs, and they're all in abundance here. Julia also said that it grows back very quickly. Moving forward, I go ahead and test out this dining room and kitchen upstairs. The guests need a place to sit, eat and probably a buffet so they can grab their food when they're ready. I'm gonna need a kitchen where I can prepare the meals, of course, and this room badly affects the others, so I'm gonna place it a little bit further away. In this little spot, there is a cast iron stove and a puny cutting board. Once I'm all set up, Hank informs Julia he's not really a cook. To which she says nonsense. I am a natural, she can smell it. And Hank simply says the smell is definitely all natural. This game has wonderful dialogue. Anyways, she goes ahead and teaches me a few basic recipes. She wants me to cook her 1 mashed potatoes and boil her some mint tea. I check out the cooking machines and at first I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I grab the mashed potato recipe on the side and I see I need to boil the potatoes and have 2 fuel for this recipe. I am doing this the manual way because that's how it unfolded, but I grab the boiling card down below. I put 2 potatoes into this card and next I do the same with the fuel card. My god, it feels like I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something. Anyways, I hit the cook button and a timer pops up and my fella is apparently boiling some potatoes behind this cooking screen. The mashed potatoes are done. A few moments later, I have boiled up a cup of tea, which sounds pretty good. However, I didn't realize I put 6 mints into this boiling pot, so I am making more than I wanted. I'm really enjoying this part. I think this is very neat. My only qualms thus far, your inventory just needs to be bigger so you can see all of your resources at the same time. It's almost there. However, overall, I really enjoyed this little cooking experience. Naturally, I plundered this little garden once again. Julia wasn't joking, they grow back really quickly. She also seems to be vaguely impressed with Hank's cooking. Hey, I gotta start somewhere, right? These 2 selections have been tossed into this buffet thing, so people can grab a bite to eat whenever they want to. I see a bunch of recipes that Julia has for sale, and I go ahead and buy all of them now. I get the achievement to unlock 5 recipes, and I know down the line I'm gonna have to learn every single recipe in this game for another achievement. Now Hank, with his Ed demeanor, tells the shark that the camp spot is ready. Finn takes forever to say this, so I'm going to. Dear valued partner, here at Pawn Voyage, we take steps every single day to recognize and appreciate our most valuable associates for their commitments and contributions. You currently do not meet the criteria for recognition. or appreciation. In fact, our metrics suggest your performance falls under our destation level. However, your recent developments into the outdoor leisure for this property has upgraded you to disregard. This is Hank's reaction. That is really quite unnecessary. Congratulations, you are now one step closer towards achieving something in your life that has any semblance of value. Okay, God, Lord. Oh, my poor bear fella. Yeah, the corporation can be quite ruthless. However, I unlocked a whole bunch of new furniture, level 3 bedroom stuff, and it looks like some level 2 bathroom stuff and a couple of other things that go into my kitchen and my dining room. Now, this is how I react when I look at the numbers for these new toilets. If we're looking at the toilets, what does this give you? Oh, God damn, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. I like that. I really like that. Now, again, we're at a stage in the game where I have better furniture to replace all my old ones. The loop is quick. And because I kept doing those quests before in the first areas, the people have those higher expectations of my lodgings, so I kind of felt compelled to go and do another fixer-upper. But I see the new toilet stuff is going to take porcelain chunks and copper plates. The junkyard is where I find those copper plates, and I finally discovered that the porcelain chunks are part of these rock debris in the A24 region. Once I collected what I needed, I go ahead and upgraded all of my bathrooms. It's 18 now. Beautiful, look at that. Ah, that's so good. Strangely enough, these constant redecoratings of previous buildings is actually quite satisfying. I did take notice though that the bedroom stuff always becomes a little bit bigger, which made the previous bedrooms more cramped until they finally just didn't fit anymore. All my old furniture I toss into the recycler to repurpose all the base materials. I currently have my game screen zoomed all the way out, so I can't see anything in my vicinity to collect. However, I do see that I've hosted 50 guests at this point. There is an achievement for 500 as well, actually. Now, all my new bedrooms with upgraded stuff will have 28 comfort and 23-ish decoration. I am whining about the customers having higher expectations each time I do a new quest for this notice board, but silly me, here I am just simply doing it again. As a result, when I check the booking request next, there are people here wanting 38 comfort, meaning that is again out of my reach. So although I can still continue this quest line here, it took every ounce of my willpower to decline a notice board because I was getting myself into a bit of a ruthless cycle of redecorating every few days. Following the story mode is what I endeavor to do from now on, and this farmhouse is on my to-do list. I have 6 larger bedrooms in here, and I was a little unsure if I needed a bathroom here. I mean, it is a camping thing as well. There's plenty of bushlands out there they can run behind. I also tried to put 2 beds into this single room because I thought maybe I can improve the comfort that way. Nope, 2 beds is illegal it seems. However, I can put multiple wardrobes and footrests in these rooms, so that's something to keep in mind. In this instance, I thought I was checking the guest list here. No. This is just the current rooms and what they already have. Obviously there are no toilets here, and silly me again thought I was reading the guest list and they didn't want any bathrooms. It's going to be awkward later when I realized my blunder. For now I just completed 2 bedrooms. I see in the actual guest list people are asking for toilets. Luckily the section in the middle touches all the bedrooms, so we're pretty sweet. In this buffet I place a few better food items. I have actually found some popcorn in a chest out in the wild, and I see now that the food score is 7 in these rooms. This ties directly to how good the meals are that I prepare for the people, and if they want something better, well, I'm just gonna have to make something nicer. I go ahead and improve these bedrooms here by adding some wardrobes, and they are eventually 34 in their comforting score. It is more than enough for these first Highland folks. As I'm scavenging for materials, I see that I have to host 6 people in this area to continue the story. In each new region, I have a few quests with Finn, and once he's done, he moves on to the next place, and he replaces himself with that notice board. Once that happens, I want to ignore that board and continue on with Finn Goes. right here I can see the guest is eating a meal at the table, which she grabbed from the buffet, so eventually they will eat everything I have prepared. I go and make some meals for later. I wasn't intending to make 19 mashed potatoes, but I ended up making 19 mashed potatoes on this occasion. As I was making some mushroom soup, I also noticed that the game time is still running, like the guests are still doing the thing in the background. So I need to do this quickly because I was spending too much time looking at the recipes and such. I have gathered enough resources. Oh, by the way, each new iteration of furniture takes either more base materials or rarer ones. So here is 5 nice looking bedrooms in High Lake. Now what about that campsite? Is anyone going here? Yes, wonderful. I'm just this bear creeping in the trees looking at people, goodness me. Oh yeah, clearly I'm Yogi Bear, waiting to swipe some picnic baskets. However, there are no baskets here, but all mate there is roasting a marshmallow. Damn, that looks good. Now back at A24, I see this gas pump. I fix it and I get an extra guest request per day here. And while I was exploring, I see Ipswich's wholesale here. Lots of ingredients I can buy. This is Ipswich, by the way, a turkey? Bush turkey? And he immediately takes the piss with Hank. I seem like I barely know how to put one foot in front of the other. He continues to have a bit of a rant. There is nothing to fear but those who fear nothing. Honestly, I agree with Hank. What the hell are you talking about? The conversation turns to the humans who are coming back to the valley. Once they start, they won't stop. Now, he's not gonna complain. A business was slow since the blaze, which is another occasion someone mentions that fire in the past. He asked me if I'm going to be fixing that old diner, which is that building next to my motel. I can actually fix it right now, but I stopped myself just in case this increases the people's expectations for this location. I'm gonna hold off on this for the moment. Instead, I go ahead and buy a bunch of base ingredients for cooking. I will be needing this to keep up with feeding my guests. I take some time to experiment with better meals, roasted potatoes in this case. I also make some tomato soup, both of which give 4 points of food each. Now all of this effort has reached the bare minimum requirements for Finn, but he's saying that it's good enough and I'm alright to head to the next location now. I get a really awkward cutscene however. Barbara is over yonder, talking to herself, and she's simply saying, "Oi, come over here." Who the hell is she talking to? I mean, clearly me, sure, but I'm like an hour walk away from her. She wanted me to listen to the gentle rushing of the waterfall. Oh, pure bliss. She says that I'm doing a great job, and I can respond with, "Thank you, old lady," or "Now you're doing such a great job," which had me pissing my pants, so obviously I chose that one. She didn't pick up on my rudeness, and she goes about her business. Back to my business. The people are scoffing down the food and I'm probably gonna have to make some things in bulk, and I do that shortly after. In the morning of day 30, I see a ruined bear statue here. I fix it and that's another one done. There is an achievement to fix all these things, by the way. Statues, dunnies, or even that gas pump, by the way. Julia had requested some help because she wanted to test out some new ingredients, and to that end I'm here talking to Beanie. Other than the stuff around here, she mentioned there was an old greenhouse near the winter lodge. It may be in disarray, but there could be some seeds left up there. I'm instructed to follow the windy path north, and I come across this old broadcast station. That is for later. Right now I enter Winterberry proper. It looks pretty chilly up here. I see a random broken down building here, and before I enter it I thought I saw a Yeti. Jax, oh, the air suddenly feels a little warmer. Who's this fella? Is that a dog? It's amazing. Out in the middle of icy nowhere, deep in the heart of Winterberry, resided Jax the Mastiff. His gentle and warm approach seemed deliberate for a place this cold. If anyone knew how to kindle fire, it was probably Jax. What does a young brown bear need from a rigid place like this? My name is Hank, and I'm putting together a team of remarkable friends to save the world. Oh, are you? Yeah, no, but you might actually believe the second thing now. Cheeky bear, isn't he? I tell him the truth. I'm rebuilding all the old places and bringing humans back to the valley because a greedy shark told me to. Well, that might be something Jax can help me with. For now, let's get to reconstructing. The building here was in fact the old greenhouse, and a little way on, I do see the ski cabin. That was the small one. There's a bigger one next to it. There's 2 buildings to fix here. Speaking of that greedy shark, I see him over here. Naturally, the main obstacle I will face here is the freezing conditions. Which one do I start with? The bigger one even has stairs, meaning it's 2 times bigger than what I see, so yeah, that is a lot of cabin to fill. Backtracking for a second, I was trying to help Julia, and I've been suddenly roped into this new area. I wanted to take a step back and focus on what I was actually doing, but I was here, and I do clean up this place a little bit. It was part of that quest line, and it led me back to Jax. I tell Jax about this potential heating problem, and he says that I'm gonna have to go on a mission to retrieve some assets from the coastline. Then he will help me with my heating problem. I head to Whitestone Bay through the first area in the game, and I get greeted by a very nice loading screen again. Once it's all over, Barbara is already here saying I should come over and say hello. I'm on my way! I just have some honey to swipe over here, plus some plums I can abscond with from this tree. I also see the assets Jax was referring to, sauna stones. It makes sense if we're talking about heating. This entire area is in ruin, but I do find my way to the top. I see a lighthouse up here. I couldn't go in just yet, but I can speak to Barbara, who's getting swept away by this gorgeous view up here. She says not many ships have been around for a bit, obviously because this lighthouse is not in use. She used to receive radio calls from an old captain, but she hasn't had a receiver since then, as she asks me to find her one. So guess what? Now I can go into the radio tower, and I find this radio receiver in here. Lucky bear. I make sure to check out this view before going back down. It was just the right thing to do. I make approving bear noises when I go back to Barbara. Oh goodness, that is it. Give it here, she says. That looks a bit out of place for her. She tries to use it. It gives off just static noises, and she gets frustrated with this contraption. She changes the channel a few times until she gets one and she pauses on. Just 5 days before the annual showing of the lights, a yearly tradition that's been a staple for children and parents alike. The festivity, now recognized as a national holiday, brings a joyful reminder to the people all over the country of that independence they fought for almost 15 years ago. But no one will be celebrating as hard as the party animals on this new prawn line cruise. Barbara says under her breath, "This is it," which is really weird. My bear fella is not understanding this. The broadcast finished with, "I'll tell you what, Gary, working below minimum wage feels like the last thing on these people's minds right now. Or mine." After that broadcast is over, it's clear that it means something to Barbara. She simply says, "I have somewhere to be," and she scurries off. Okay, so she's got a little bit of information, and now she's being a bit, standoffish. I may have to look into that again after the fact, but I think I may have missed something there. It's been about a week since I've played, so I kind of forgot what I was doing. I find Wade just down below. I nearly stepped on him actually. Come to take him back to the boss again? No fella, I had no idea you were here. Anyways, we have a bit of a chat about garbage. This little man likes to scavenge for it. He got wind that I like to cook, and he asks me to make him some onion soup. Okay, sure. I tried to make it, but the recipe requires me to simmer something, and I concluded that this cast iron stove can't let me simmer something. It may be a level 2 thing. So I go ahead and I bring these calls to Jax, and he teaches me about making a utility room for heating buildings, which is crucial for this winter area. They are only small rooms, but they have a debuff area, so I want to make sure the future rooms are nowhere near them. I have this old grandma boiler recipe. Really, it's just a little small heater room. The fuel I'm gonna need is the same I've been using for my cooking thus far. Jax does have a small shop I can purchase fuel from. I don't know how long it lasts, so I go ahead and chuck a modest 22 wood chunks in here. I go back to Jax, and he tells me that in the past, they used to enjoy a good television show with their humans, but that was when the broadcast station was still working and not broken. If I fix it, I may be able to provide my guests with entertainment during their stays. Now finally, because I helped this dog with fixing the lodges here and such, he finally gives me a lemon, which is what I was looking for Julia. Yet I only got sidetracked into repairing a whole other building because of it. It is the next morning. I am pilfering this garden, and I get an achievement to earn 100 perfect reviews. This means I've had at least 100 people stay in my places in total. But I'm back at Julia's. She is very pleased with this lemon, the ripest she's ever seen. I inform her that I got it from a dog-looking thing who procured it from the Winterberry greenhouse. She thought that place was gone. Oh, no, just looking a little worse for wear these days. But we could fix it. Emphasis on Hank the bear fixing it and providing her with a few plants to do so. I see she wants a small succulent plant and a leafy contrast plant. What the hell are those? By the way, as you can see, my quest log is very expansive at this time. I wanted to clear it up a bit before moving on to Winterberry. Speaking of which, the broadcast station. I needed 3 things specifically: an antenna dish, record player, and a microphone. I can see in my inventory I already have an old antenna dish, which I must have absconded with in my adventures thus far. I take some time to go around the map and I'm looking for these other 2 items. On my journey, I see Gus in the Dark Grove. Remember, this fella can't take a compliment. In fact, it ruins his day. What would brighten his day is if he got an egg dippy, which is a meal of some sort. I have no idea. Hank does, and that's all that matters. So at this time, I need to cook something for Gus and Wade. I'm back at the Bay Area and I see a bumper car situation. Hank thinks this looks like fun, and it probably was. But among this rubble here, I do find a microphone. Also, here's some footage of it now. I come across a lot of fuel canisters that have wood, and I find these around the world. And a little bit later, I finally come across the record player in a dumpster in the corner of Winterberry. I get some materials together and I go ahead and I fix this broadcasting station. From the looks of it, I can't interact with anything in here, so it's used just to unlock that new room for my resorts. How does this bear have like intricate knowledge of, fixing up a bloody broadcast station? This is no ordinary bear. He may seem dopey, but my god, this guy is a super genius. I'm wandering around and I activate a cutscene with Barbara. She says she thinks that I'm ready. She's very impressed with my work thus far and she thinks it's time to show me her corner of the forest. I wander into a place called Pinefall, and for your information, this will be the final resort destination in the game later. Now naturally this place is littered with rubbish, which I'm gonna help myself to. This is also the final bus stop in the game. I can fix it now and I get the achievement for it. Oh wow, we're gonna make a massive resort here? Goodness gracious me. Oh, it's gonna take so long to get all of this fixed up. I mean, I've got a diner, I've got a greenhouse, I've got all of the cold area which I haven't touched. Oh bloody hell, there's 3 buildings here. Oh, this is not a joke, is it? Yep, this Pine Resort actually has 3 separate buildings for me to make. Barbara informs me that the history of this place could fill up 10 encyclopedias. I like how she says, just like the rest of the valley, we have our work cut out for us, when in reality, Hank the Bear is the real hero here. She says to go parlay with my so-called shark friend to get this all started. As I'm heading there, I fix up all the minor buildings as I'm exploring around. This will increase the requests later on, and I discovered that Finn is not actually here yet. Well, that's because the quest line hasn't reached Pinefall. I haven't even touched Winterberry properly, so yeah, one thing at a time. Number 1 on my list is this diner. It has been bugging me for quite a while. It is quite nice. There's actually nothing I can do here. It looks like it's just a food place where the A24 people will help themselves too. Even when I try to interact with it, I am informed that it doesn't belong to me, despite the fact I fixed it. Yeah, rude much? Oh, by the way, so you are aware, every single night or day, whenever I fit it in, I do my rounds at all my current places, and I sign in my new guests for the following day. It does take a couple of minutes to do this. Funny enough, I'm still doing the notice board quests as well, to increase the people's expectations at my resorts. I just can't help myself. Now in this case, I need to make a level 2 dining room. I do get to this sharply, because I did have the knowledge of these upgraded furnitures. This level 2 buffet can store 6 different meals in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and dump all the cooked meals I had piling up in my fridges. Now High Lake wanted me to make level 3 bedrooms, and lucky for me, I had already done this. I get the tape measure for this endeavor. It allows me to enter the build mode anywhere in this region, or any region, and I'm able to construct and craft more furniture anywhere. Usually, I'm only allowed to do this at the table outside. This is no longer the case. No, my little bear can stand outside the building, or even inside if I wanted to do any of my bearish things from there. I currently have 2 cooking quests, one for Gus and one for Wade. Last time I couldn't do Wade's onion soup. I probably needed a level 2 kitchen, but I did discover when I clicked around that I can autofill cards. This actually speeds up the cooking significantly, which is really nice. I also found that I can make the egg dippy for Gus with this level 1 equipment. Gus is elated with this. He used to get it once a year because his family did it tough when he was young. He is a possum, so naturally he is one of 12 brothers. And we were all little dumbasses too. Oh, I like the dialogue of this game, it's beautiful. Oh man, I don't think my mom could have handled more than one, Hank. Well, dumbasses regardless. Hank asks Gus if he'd be willing to give us some help with the humans, be the concierge fella for my resorts. Okay, so what's this all about? always the undeniable people possum, Gus has offered his services as a concierge. Hey Kylie? Concierge. Is that concierge?
Yeah.
The hell is a concierge? Yep, she sums it up for me. Pretty much a fancy word for someone at the front desk, taking calls, directing guests, or in my case, taking care of all of my guest bookings. I unlocked the achievement to get Gus to work for me. This is good stuff. Next, it is time for the greenhouse. I needed to find Julia a contrast and a succulent plant. Because this is a greenhouse situation, I was assuming I had to harvest something in the game world. So to that end, I searched the map with my camera zoomed out. I broke into this cave section. I needed prospector's gear to get into it. It's a very ominous looking place. There's a gate here needing an iron key. I then see a quest item here called a red feather. So okay, this place will become relevant later. Outside, Hank sees a lovely stream that looks like a good place to contemplate existence. Goodness me, Hank, you're a deep thinker, aren't you? Come on mate, focus on the task at hand. Those plant types. This is a capsicum, unfortunately. During my travels, I discovered I can look at my map and it has each and every single harvestable thing I have seen. It is all marked on my map. I can see all of their names. I'm using this new technique, but I'm not seeing the things that matches what I'm looking for. My search takes me to the last area I haven't discovered in this game, the beach side. I see blackberries here and linden, but again, they're not what I'm looking for, so I resorted to Google for this. Okay, well this is interesting. I just looked this one up. I would not have figured this one out myself, I don't think. Okay, so for Julia, you actually have to buy things. So where is All Mate's shop? It's up here. Okay, here we go. We're looking for a small succulent plant. So those plants I've been looking for, yep, they've been in Took's garbage this entire time. I was under the impression I had to find them, but okay, my bad. They were here all along. Here's my thought on that. Can I be completely honest? Are we completely honest? I'm looking for these things, and I thought they were cooking ingredients or something that we need to find out somewhere in the world. No, they're just in the shops. To be completely honest, that one took me longer to figure out. I searched the entire map for this stuff, but okay, that's perfectly fine. In the morning, I visit Julia. Yes, I got them all, I say to her. It is time to fix up the greenhouse. When I'm doing that, this notice board gives me a list of quest items I needed to complete this. Seeing as I've already explored this entire map, I already had a bag of seeds, glass panels, and some stone bricks. Wow, now that looks pretty cool. Oh mate, that looks amazing. Look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and just snatch everything I can. Oh, that is sick, mate. Oh, that is so good. 27 bell peppers, mate. Oh yeah. Now this is good. This is nice. I like this. 10 carrots, beets. Yeah, that is a lot of ingredients very quickly, and I pass the good news on to her. More recipes become available from her, and I'm also able to buy better stuff from the pawn voyage, specifically all the level 2 kitchen stuff, so I'm super keen. I'm gonna start renovating this space now. I make a basic cutting board, gas range, a small griddle, and a cheap microwave. I also make a sensible fridge, as it's described, and all this makes a nice looking kitchen to cook in. A quick thing here, I click my cooking tab in my inventory, and you can see I have a lot of ingredients on me. I fill up like 5 to 6 fridges. It makes sense if all this crap is in here and not on my person. I did do this to save space, but I made an unfortunate discovery. You know what I just realized? With this game, it doesn't pull stuff out of the storages, and that is very disappointing actually. What I mean by that is all my ingredients are in the fridges next to me, right? I was hoping that this cooking station here would register that, like pull the resources. All the stuff for the onion soup is here, but no, I need to have those items specifically on me. Anyways, I make the French onion soup for Wade, and he can smell it a mile away. As thanks, he says he knows his way around garbage. Does my venture need a little garbage man, he asks me. Oh buddy, look at that. With unmatched enthusiasm, Wade offered Hank his garbage collection services. His speedy little feet were great for grabbing any litter left behind by lazy guests. In return, he would receive a fair wage and perhaps for the first time some honest recognition for his talent. Damn, those little cutscenes are quite special. I am a fan, and if I set him up properly, he can help me out. That is also the achievement to get him to work for me. After all this, I go and visit Pinewood again. I wanted to see if Finn was there. He was not there. I do have a quest for it, but I think I need to complete each area in sequence. So it had been 10 days since I last played. It was during this time I uploaded my Ranch Simulator video, and it was time to get deep into this game. I chose the smaller cabin area to develop, as I imagined I had to do this to go to Pinefall. I wanted to start playing around with this place. I had to be mindful on how far my bathroom can reach, and I didn't want the rooms to be too close to the heater room as well. It's a bit tricky. You know what I haven't done in this area yet? Actually speak to Finn. Once I do just that, I unlock a whole bunch of new things to buy. It's upgrades to the usual rooms, but I see that this place also has a lounge. It looks like a room where people can simply sit back and read a book. The new bathrooms also caught my eye. Those hygiene numbers are really climbing. Now, level 4 beds gives me 20 comfort, whereas the level 3 ones gave me 15, so yeah, that is another huge upgrade. I go ahead and I set up these winter rooms. I only have the bedrooms set up with this heater room. They are sitting at a cool 10 degrees. It's still warmer than outside, I bet. However, 10 degrees is not enough. All these people want a snug 24 degrees, as well as food. This means there's going to be a kitchen, dining room, toilet, and this utility room. Damn, that's a lot of rooms. I think I can only fit like, what, 3 bedrooms in here? That's going to be very tight. I also only had the first level heater, and that's not even good enough. My resources have taken a hit recently. I've been doing a lot of upgrading for the other areas and less gathering, so I'm now really feeling the pain of not having what I need. Back to scavenging around like your average bear. But I did notice something about one of my guests. This one can't get out. Well, that's going to be her problem. She can just sleep for like the entire vacation. I think that'll be fine. Poor thing. That's actually incredibly cruel. Oh well. I was too busy to go back and redo the old place at this point. I endeavored to get to the end game, where I would unlock everything, and then I'll do a final redo of all my places. Otherwise it eats up too much time and resources. I also sorted out my heating problem. I made 2 of those old granny boilers in the same room. As I hover over this other room, I can now see it had 24 degrees, so yeah, that has worked just fine. I wanted to get some extra fuel. Ipswich sells it in bulk as well. Now, somehow, without really paying attention, I spent over half my money at 20,000. God damn it. So for now, it is time to chill a bit. I just have to let 8 people stay in the Winterberry place for Finn, and then I continue on from there. While that is happening, I'm gonna go ahead and stock up on everything else I'm going to need. It's a bit grindy, but hey, it is what it is. I was also starting to put more thought towards the cooking. High Lake, Winterberry, and probably the Pinefall place. They're all going to need cooking, I reckon. Is there a recipe that I can make in bulk that's easy to procure for? I investigated and researched my recipes. I wanted to see if there was a golden opportunity. As you can imagine, staying on top of the meal prep and delivering on said meals is going to be a bit of a headache. My inventory and having everything I need on me is a slight bother, but what I eventually started doing was I would dump all of my ingredients into my bear stash when I don't need it, and I would carry all of my crafting materials. When I needed to cook, I dumped all of my materials and I took the ingredients out, and I found that that was the easiest way I could manage my inventory. The stash can also get full, but I found out that I could usually carry all of my ingredients or all of my materials, so I had to make a choice whether I was a building bear or a cooking bear. I tried to sell some carrots to Ipswich, but I would be disappointed. I can't actually sell stuff in this game. I can only delete or recycle, so yeah, there you have it. As I'm doing my thing, I do see Gus, who's saying that there isn't a smell in this world that can disgust him, but he sees I'm already trying to prove him wrong. Wow, this fella likes to roast me, doesn't he? I also rounded up all of my old furniture, and I chucked them all into the recycler machine. Okay, cool, that's fine. Recycle all. It's gonna take 30 seconds. This is also a large gaggle of humanoids, and I do not know where that is. Goodness me, look at this huge amount of people right now. And it's all thanks to me. Don't mind this bear just standing here. He belongs, of course. Did you notice that none of them had a frowny face? Wait, is that because I'm wearing pants and a hat? Anyhow, I discovered that all those decoration things I have, the things that I bought from Took, they can't actually be recycled. I have to just throw these away. I can't resell them, and I didn't want them in my inventory just cluttering the place. So all that I currently have left is all of my crafting materials, all of my cooking stuff, and a few random pieces. I am pretty happy with this cleanup. So after a few days, I've had a guest stay at this winter lodge place. Finn has now moved on, and I have this billboard to deal with, meaning that the base story here is finally done. Speaking of done, I had also received 10 5-star reviews at this old Dinky Shed. This place is effectively done. I even got an achievement for it, and I get a nice shirt as well. For once, this notice board thing is saying no more requests at this location. This first area is completely done. I also look very snazzy in my green shirt, and this other poor human still can't get out of their bed. I quickly move a few things 1 square to the left, and that should be fine now, right? Lovey, you can climb out. I'm not moving anything else for you. You can just deal with it, okay? You're gonna like the experience regardless. Yeah, best bear and breakfast ever. Speaking of which, guess who is finally here in Pinefall? This inflatable shark. He gives me the go ahead and I start clearing away here. This first building here has a downstairs, which is actually pretty cool. I get to repairing. There is even overgrown moss on the roof, but hey, it is good to go. I tell Finn the good news. I get the achievement for fixing the first building here, called the Endgamer, and I should probably inform Barbara of my progress as well. She's been waiting for quite a while. However, I check out some of my reviews I've received at my other locations. Funny enough, they are all 5-star reviews. Either I'm very good at being a bear, having a bear and breakfast, or it is very easy to please silly humans. Oh wait, nope, that guy is not. He gave me a 4.5. I think it's time for some hunting. But on a serious note, a little bit of a gripe from me. Okay, you know what's incredibly unfortunate? Every single one of these is exactly the same. They all say the same thing. It further proves my point. Silly humans. Here's Barbara. She's pleased with the first building construction and she gets all nostalgic about it. She was sent here looking for work when she was just a young lass. She didn't have a lot of choices back then, so anything was a good thing. She hasn't told this story in a very long time. She barely thinks about it anymore actually. She got assigned to Pinefall Resort when she was just a young spring chicken. When she arrived, the damn thing was still being built. He even hammered a few nails herself actually. It was a big deal at the time. The biggest leisure resort in the entire valley. It sent a strong message. She didn't come from much back then, so she didn't quite believe her luck. She got the front desk duties on her very first day. They did open early because people were flooding in from every corner of the country, and she was ready, young, and full of hope. Old age doesn't have to come with losing hope, though it often tries very hard. Oh, don't get too upset, Barbara. I'm gonna fix it all, especially when I unlock more of Julia's recipes and Porn Voyage stuff. I have to fix these places first, so this is building number 2. This is one incredibly talented bear, I can tell you that much. Okay, I guess we're just gonna be doing this slowly but surely. Slowly and surely, but as I do, another chapter of Barbara's past is revealed to me. Not everyone was happy with what this place offered. Of course, you can never please everyone. Some people didn't approve of this entire thing, saying that it was a waste of money. We had a few troublemakers, but they didn't get very far. You see, the authorities were quite strict at the time, and you could get into a lot of trouble if you didn't follow the rules. We had issues all around the valley, just like any other place in the world. It wasn't perfect, no, but at least they got things done, and well, people like that. Before I knew it, a couple of years had flown right by, and the whole resort was finally done. It was the jewel of the valley. This place was an amazing sight to behold, before it all burnt down to the ground. Well, here's that tone of something bad happening in the past again. Well, these buildings were badly damaged before I fixed them. Something bad must have happened in the past. Maybe the last chapter from Barbara will reveal the truth. Soon after the opening, things took a turn for the worst. The problems ran deeper than anyone ever thought, including her. More and more people started voicing their anger, going from whispers, mumbles, cries, and then screams. The authorities, the regime, as people called them, they punished anyone and everyone. But they pushed the people further and further into suffering, cornering them into desperation. And so, the people pushed back. Anger was met with anger. Violence echoed violence. Going back and forth until there was simply nothing left. Not in Pinefall, not in the valley, not anywhere. Barbara has been staring at these ruins for well over a decade. She realized how much she misses the old Pinefall, though it probably doesn't miss her. Pinefall has a lot of secrets. Dark secrets. Oh, please, Barbara, can you stop scaring Hank? Look, he's terrified. Barbara gives me some unpolished steel, and she sends me to go see Ipswich, that he's better with this sort of thing, which is history. Okay, sure, I'll go visit him when I can. What is this thing? Before I do that, this billboard in Winterberry, it tells me that not all the buildings are done. Okay, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. I can repair them all. He's only asking oh, it's already done. Mate, you are done. I guess I still have to do these things in order, and I unlock even more Pawn Voyage stuff. Some of it is level 5 and level 4. I will discover that level 5 is the highest in the game. This Louis bed, or Lois bed, I'm gonna go with Louis, it sounds cooler. It's a weird name for a bed, but sure. It gives 25 comfort and 16 decoration. Yeah, that's huge. Also, this bird is quite rude. What do you want, child? I'm busy. I tell him that I was sent by Barbara, who says this thing has something to do about history. He changes his tone when I mention Barbara. Ipswich doesn't have the hands and says this will require the hands of someone more experienced. What the hell is this thing? Well, Charlotte the crocodile can help me apparently. Yeah, sure, I guess a reptile does have more hand limbs than a bird, sure. He also makes a mention that he would love some stromboli. Yeah, sure, the last time I helped someone with food, they started working for me, so we'll see where this goes. Speaking of which, Julia is also asking for a cheesecake, which I'm more than happy to do for her. She is all about the cooking, so maybe she will cook for my guests. However, I don't have the recipes for either of these, so I'm gonna have to buy them from Julia first. I would be further disappointed, as I don't have the kitchen equipment to make these recipes just yet. So here's my method in action. Currently I have all my ingredients on me. I dump the whole lot into my stash, and from my stash I take all of my materials, effectively going from cooking bear to building bear. I make the best cooking equipment I can at this time, level 3 cooking stuff, and when I'm done, this is what ultimate cooking power looks like. I get all my ingredients again, and using autofill, I quickly make the desired meals I wanted to for those two mentioned before. I go ahead and take a nap, and I wake up to earning over 100,000 coins, which is pretty miraculous as I am a bear, mind you, that can cook. Have I got something delicious for you, Julia? Yes, I do. Here's your cheesecake. This is exquisite, Hank. She is impressed. I think the last time I cooked for her it was terrible, so bloody hell. Hank is the equivalent of a renaissance man, meaning someone who's talented in many fields. Hank's become one of my favorite characters in gaming, to be honest. He's great. He reminds me so much of Ed from Ed, and Eddie, just that lovable oaf. Oh, it's beautiful. So Julia's story. Deeming Hank an acquired taste, Julia decided to offer her cooking services. She would not be using her own kitchen, of course, but would require a special station. If any delicious scraps just so happened to fall on the countertop during cooking, it wouldn't have bothered Hank. Not at all. In fact, Hank would be a very lucky bear if you could get a hand in the kitchen. That's another achievement. Get Julia to work for me. The big one with Julia is that she will automatically be able to cook the meals I tell her to prepare. It means I don't actually have to provide her with any ingredients. She just does it all for a fee. I'm thinking about this as I'm pillaging her garden once again, and I come to the conclusion that I would like to do the cooking for a little while longer. When I have some places properly set up, then I will look into hiring her, which again might be soon. Look at these high numbers that people are asking for back at the shed. True, the quests are done here, but I still want to make money and meet these requirements. My rooms are not up to scratch, it seems. Apparently my cooking is up to scratch for Ipswich. He thought that I bought this stromboli. Nah mate, I made it. He says he wants to meet me in Pinefall right away, so I head there with obvious haste. Oops, I walked past the... Oh, look at that mess. You filthy animals. Look at this. Good lord. Hi. Hey, buddy. Oh yeah, this game definitely has good vibes to it. So at the back of Pinefall, I meet Ipswich. You certainly took your time, but I guess you've made that aspect of your life clear. Are you ready? Yes, I am. I guess I'm ready to be able to give him money more easily. He's going to be setting up his old travel card, so I can buy some materials more conveniently. I have a look at the prices, but my goodness gracious me, they are really inflated. 550 gold for a single piece of mahogany plank. Oof, man. Now here's a surprised reptile. Got any more freeloaders I wanted to take in? Yeah, nah, Wade works for me now. Anyways, I tell her that I brought this scrap thing from Barbara. Ipswich wasn't really interested until I told him Barbara gave it to me. And then Charlotte says something really ominous. No, it's scrap. That's what Ipswich said, but he took a second look after I told him it's from the old lady in Pineful. I see, well, no doubt old Barbara is on the hunt for credulous simpletons again. And I see she bagged one already. This is starting to give me a bad idea about Barbara. Charlotte says that she will help me with transmuting this thing that I brought her, but she wants 50 charcoal lilies for her efforts, so I go ahead and start gathering these again. I gathered all that I could find, and I only had 21, and instead of waiting for respawns, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the other 29 that I need. I give them all to Charlotte, and these are really ugly flowers. She then tells me that this is the steel feather of the bird god. Yes, the metal plumage fell off mid-flight from the scaly tail of the beast, and then an unsuspecting ranger found it because it impaled them right through the heart. Hank is terrified by the story of this artifact, and Charlotte simply says, yeah, that should do. This is all a lie. Hank has not picked up on this just yet, but Charlotte did say that Barbara found herself another simpleton, and as soon as I told her and Ipswich about the scrap metal and that it was from her, they changed their perspectives on this thing. Furthermore, Charlotte says that if I ever bring her another piece of junk, it'll cost an additional 15 lilies. Speaking of 15, I see I've crossed off the job to get 15 more 5-star reviews at A24. This area is also done now. I get the achievement and a cozy sweater. Very nice. Also, here's another victim. This poor idiot can't get out of the house. So he goes back to bed. But you know what's funny? He's going to give me an excellent review. I was back there again, doing my daily rounds of getting folks to come and stay at my places. I am visiting each area every single day. Pineful will be added to that list shortly, and after a brief chat, I get access to the next lot of things I can buy and make. Look how easy it is to spend money. That was oh my god. I have made a huge tiny little mistake. Oh good lord. I just spent like 15,000 or something. God damn it. Okay, well. It is time to go and see Barbara. She says it's better than she thought, though she gave me this thing initially. She knew what it was, so why is it now better? A true artifact. Only the real explorers would venture to see this. Now, all we need is a place to show this off. I go ahead and unlock some stuff. It looks like I'll be able to make a museum in this area. Oh my god, even the tutorial says this. It's perfect for displaying mysterious artifacts of dubious origins that gullible guests can gawk at. Charlotte can turn mundane items into artifacts with the right items and a number of charcoal lilies. In-game me wasn't really picking up on this shadiness here, so sure, I'm going to be helping set up crappy artifacts for people to gawk at. Now remember, Charlotte said that Barbara had found herself another idiot. Like, Hank hasn't caught on to this just yet, but I definitely did during the scripting session. Now I've been saying this for a very long time. I've been wanting to redo all of my old areas, and I believed I was at a point where I can finally do it. It's gonna take some time, but I'm pretty keen for it. I go and gather as many materials as I can, while also saying hello to the locals. Before I start revamping this place, and for the last time, I promise you that. The numbers are this. I had one better room and two lesser ones. Some of the stuff is still low level trash of course, and now it's an empty building, but it's somehow got even emptier. I can hear the silence in there. However, nothing but the sounds of bliss coming from this recycler as I break everything down for half the material cost. I know the furniture has been getting bigger, so I thought let's try 2 5x5 bedrooms and see how this goes. I'm going to be making this level 5 bedroom stuff, but I see that I need silk sheet and I've not seen that in the game, so I go ahead and look it up. It looks like the silk sheets you have to buy. So okay, to Pineful we go. I hope they're not expensive, eh? For each bed I need 8 of them. It turns out they're 350 each, so that's 2800 just to make the best bed. But I also saw that I needed them for the footrests, so for each room I'm going to be spending 3500. That's actually quite expensive. This is one of the rooms now. 4 items of level 5 are in there. The other furniture took some basic stuff to make as well, but the main resource was mahogany. Is that bedroom 49 and 36? Am I reading that correctly? That is huge. Not even done yet, mate. They're gonna need a light source, and I wanted to test some things out. I took the nacho cheese lamps on this occasion. They cost me a whopping 700 garbage each, which realistically is quite huge. This carpet is even bigger. That's the chillest place I've ever seen in my entire life. What is this thing? 49 and 45. I forgot that Took's garbage only does the decoration, so this is what the rooms are gonna look like. I bought a few paintings, they're mostly bear themed, and I wanted to test out Gus and Wade's stations here. There's no cooking in this location. I placed down the first 2 and I was unsure on how the hiring process works. It looks like I need to do it through the front desk. So here we have Wade and Gus on the right, and the respective costs per day it seems. I can tell Gus he needs to work and his base rate is 150, but his duties will also include room 1 and 2, but they're currently off, so he will also charge me for each room separately it seems. His total is 230 gold per day, and what he does is take the customers off my back. He will assign the guests, but with no real worries about the picky customers. Bear this in mind, a customer with high expectations will pay a lot more than someone who just doesn't give a damn. He's not going to be looking for that specifically, so if I get a bunch of low expectation scrubs, I am gonna make less money. Now Wade, I simply turn on his duties and he will collect garbage for me it seems. From the short frame I can see he's going to cost me $200 per day. So the next day 2 randoms show up. I haven't seen Gus or Wade yet, but when I check the books again, now that there are 2 people here, Wade also charges extra per guest staying. It looks like 60 per human, so he's costing me $320 per day, which means I'm paying $550 per day for this location. So that ended my session of play then. The next time I came back, I had a thought about my employees. There's currently only 2 people here, and having those 2 work for me for that much wasn't really worth it to me. I moved on to A24, and goodness me, this place is a mess. There is a lot of rubbish around. Speaking of which, I needed to check Wade's thing back at the Dinky Shed. He's collected 149 pieces of rubbish, which is stuff that has piled on. I'm actually not picking this stuff up anymore. I then set Wade up at A24 and simply said collect the stuff. I currently have 18,700 on me, and it'll cost him a minimum $380 per day to clean here. I then see how Wade does his cleaning in real time. All rubbish is identified with this little face icon, and then it all disappears. Oh goodness me, he just collected everything, didn't he? Really? So does he just collect everything in the area in a second? That he does. He takes his payment instantly, and right away, he's cleared the entire area. When I check his window again, he has snatched up 341 pieces of garbage. Now, at the time, I thought he did this for free, like he won't get paid until tomorrow, and I thought I was being cheeky by turning off his services now. But I can confirm here in the editing stage that I have 18,320 gold, meaning he did take his well-earned 380. But that also proves something for me. I don't need to leave him on a constant roster. I only need to clean the things up like once every so often. There's no need to do like a daily upkeep. And I also wanted to save some money because I am about to spend $14,000 and I'm going to be buying 40 silk sheets for the A24 upgrade. Yeah, now this is not a cheap endeavor. I just completely destroyed my money. And well, it's going to be worth it because we are going to be upgrading these places to the maximum. Indeed, I will be upgrading to the maximum. I sometimes have to wait a few days until all the current guests have completed their stays. I never kicked someone out early, not once. I wait until they're done and they go on their merry way. And on that note actually, it is day 60 at this time. Moving on, I start to break down everything. However, I quickly put the same current toilet stuff back in and I saw how far it reached. That is a huge radius, much bigger than the first level stuff, and this isn't even the highest level. Can I get a away with making a single bathroom in this place. So I go ahead and I started this process by building rooms around the side, expecting there to be a front desk, toilet and bar area in the center somehow. In this building window, the time is frozen, so no days are lapsing, so of course I'm taking my sweet time doing this and trying to figure it out. When a room tells me it has to be a 4x5, like this distillery room for example, I can't place 20 tiles in an awkward phallic manner. No, it has to be a perfect square for it to register. Now in this instance, the bar was covering the doors to those top rooms, which made me wonder, could I fit 5 rooms in here somewhere? Well, this is looking very awkward, isn't it? But then I had a brilliant idea. Bugger off with the walkways in the middle section. Could people just simply enter the rooms from the outside? Like, no need for a hallway connecting all the rooms. So this was the final idea. A bathroom and a bar room connected via the middle and the outside, and all the bedrooms with their entrances outside. They have to walk outside to get back in. So this new idea started to come together. 49 comfort, 40 decoration and 27 hygiene for all these places. And despite the fact 5 humans share this single bathroom, that is 1 toilet and 1 bath, between 10 pairs of feet and 10 hands. A funny thing I realized as well was that everyone always walks towards the front desk, which is in the bar room mind you, but they all walk through the bathroom to get there, which would be incredibly awkward if someone was in there and several people just started marching in. To arrive, she had to go through the toilet. That is some pretty poor planning out, but oh well, it works. Nope, I'm not gonna fix it, it's fine. But I do have hungry mouths to feed, so I do some rounds at the other locations to top up their buffets. I then did some resource gathering because this new setup was very mahogany intensive. I could at least grind this resource, but I had to grind heaps of this stuff. But it's worth it. A24 is all updated now. I'm actually quite pleased with it. I had forgotten the carpets for each room, but no one in this area ever asked for decoration beyond 40, so I wasn't going to bother with it. Everything's good. This is how people sign in. They go to the bathroom. I mean, there's a perfectly good way they can go here, but sure, I think that works just fine. I've been cooking people's meals and I wanted to see how Julia would do this, so she's going to cost me a flat $200 per day. I then have to choose several dishes I wanted to keep in the buffet. These meals are worth points, ranging from 2 to 10 or whatever. A tomato soup cost $80 per day, so it's going to be her fee, and then for having this on the buffet, she will also charge me $80. Now, how about these 2 meals that would make the food value here 14? That's $280 for the food and $200 for her. That's looking a little bit expensive. I mean, right now here in the winter resort, I had only 3 people here and just catering to the 3 people was almost not worth it. I was going to fix High Lake next and I'm gonna do it properly there. For now, I'm gonna bite the bullet at Winterberry and do the cooking here. I have to be honest, these people at Winterberry, they are scoffing down the food like something chronic. Well, it is cold made. They need the energy intake. However, I found a bounty. Okay, so I was just minding my business, you know, collecting stuff and things, and here there's bean stuffed peppers, peach cobblers, and this. The mushroom risotto is actually a 10-fer, isn't it? That is huge. Yep, my prayers were answered. I can toss these into the Winterberry area until I get there. On a quick side note, I counted how much mahogany I needed for each room. 29. We're looking at about 30 mahogany stuff for every single room I want to make. That's insane. That's actually a lot of resources for this. It was a lot of resources for this, but it was better than paying $550 for each piece of wood. So at the moment, High Lake is completely empty. I've gathered enough resources, let's start. I was going to make the doors on the outside again, but I saw the rooms on the top and the bottom will be slightly different, and sizes I mean. Oh well. It looked like I was still able to fit all I needed into the smaller rooms. It was tight, but hey, I'm a bear. Now as I was doing the toilet here, I realized I had better toilet furniture. The A24 A24 place before was fine, so I'm just gonna go ahead and toss the new stuff here. And now this bathroom has a huge radius, and I guess I was trying to cram 7 bedrooms into this place. A fun fact, I actually managed to cram 8 bedrooms downstairs with 1 toilet, and this time the front desk was easily accessible by everyone. 7 rooms got the best stuff, but this awkward upside down capital L room had to be downgraded because the bigger stuff just wouldn't fit. You wanna hear something funny? The only way to access the stairs is by going outside. A great setup, I think. But I see here right now I forgot the door, so I scrambled to do that at some point. I set Julia's thing upstairs, and it turns out you only need to have 1 kitchen item thing in a room before placing hers down, so I kept it minimum. And as you can see, that is the master bedroom you see upstairs with its own bathroom. A crappier bathroom, sure, but a bathroom nonetheless. This is the setup when I was pretty much done. I didn't get any campsite upgrades, so I just expanded this area and left it as is. Now that single bathroom that has 1 entrance from the outside covers 8 humans downstairs. Bloody oath, mate. But the rooms are sitting at a 49 comfort, 40 decoration, and a whopping 36 hygiene, because I used the best of the best. Now speaking of the best, what is the highest food requirement I can see from someone here? What is that, a 16 maybe? Okay, so right off the bat, $200 for Julia regardless. How about that stromboli and cheesecake I made for her in Ipswich before? That will cover 16 points of hunger, and it's going to cost her an additional 320. It brings her total cost to $520 per day, but she is catering to 9 humans. Yeah, that is worth it. I've got my first lot of people walking in. I see 6 guests have also currently finished their stays at my other resorts, and I've made 1700 from them. By the way, here I realized I didn't have a door to the stairs. I checked the buffet, and yeah, Julia is providing those 2 meals. The people grabbed them, and all is good in High Lake now. You don't actually get to see the NPCs doing their jobs, which is a bit sad. I was hoping to see Julia just walking around in here doing her thing. I talked to this notice board thing, and I need to make a level 2 campsite here next. Okay, I guess I'll be getting level 2 campsite soon. In the meantime, Winterberry is next. Goodness me, 2 buildings and they're huge. The bigger building even has an upstairs. So all the rooms as before, except I also need a heating room in both buildings. This place also provides the idiots with a lounge and a movie theater. Wait, when did this theater become a thing? It's going to be my biggest undertaking to this date. It's currently the night of day 71. Time is flying. A gripe I have at this time that I want to voice. I have an abundance of spare materials from lower levels. I'm not using it anymore, but I can't sell it. I can only store or destroy it. I wish I'm able to sell this stuff. It'll cut down on the amount I have to grind. I know it has a sell price there, but trust me, you can't sell. I even looked it up and confirmed that. Nah, you can't sell. I'm not just inept. Now actually, as I am doing this, I'm having a think about it. Obviously, I'm going to be making other things as well. Like, we know that for the best toilets that we can ever make in the world, they also take mahogany, do they? God damn, son. This is a problem. This resource right here is very problematic for us. I had a thought later. Now actually, that's another good question. There is 2 buildings here. If I was to build, let's say, all the home cinema type stuff in one section, like just in this building here, I think that's fine. Let me look that up. I think I only need to build 1 kitchen, and these people can travel between the places to go and eat, right? Okay, wonderful. That actually saves me a whole lot of effort. I also haven't seen Jax in a bit. Been some time, hasn't it, fella? A long story short, the guy wants a pick-me-up. He wants some plum schnapps. I decided that the upstairs in the bigger building is going to be all utility, kitchen and special rooms, and then downstairs can be all the bedrooms. So it is some time later. This is the layout at the moment. I needed 2 bathrooms for this place, and bedrooms are accessible from outside again. 13 bedrooms, by the way. I have access to a high-tech heater now, and this one has no problem keeping an entire building warm. This is the entire upstairs section. I have a movie theater on the very left, a lounge next to that, and then a dining and a kitchen to the right. I was quite pleased with how this one came along. I was lagging behind in the noticeable quests in Winterberry, so I decided to have some people stay in the rooms prematurely. They are already set up. People really don't mind walking outside in the cold to go towards the stairwell or the bathrooms. This poor human is never going to get fresh oxygen. But to be fair though, there's no toilet in the room, so they can come out here, do their business and go in there, and hopefully they farted enough so they don't have to fart in there. I was having a thought when I got sidetracked. This game does have a bit of a satisfying loop, but I will be completely honest, it does feel very grindy at this point. Like, I have to... Who the hell did that? There's no one in this room, but some twat has gone in, walked in, and said, oh yeah, I'm just gonna drop my stuff here, you filthy cretin. Good lord. Trying to run a place of business here. An honest place of business, mind you. As I do my honest business, I hand in some quests at this notice board. I've done a few setup ones already, so I can hand them in right away. This actually unlocked the movie theater prompt for me, despite the fact I already have one up and running. Anyways, I hand in the quest, get an achievement because I just unlocked all the collectibles in the game. This one being the pager. Okay, what does this pager do? You've obtained the pager, which allows you to manage your resorts remotely across... Oh, that is appreciated. That is hugely appreciated. I can now stand anywhere in the game world and access my pager cabins menu. From here, I can do all my guest requests remotely. Honestly, as I have the best rooms and not really worried about putting someone in a crappy place, I can do this in a heartbeat. There's no need for Gus, really. I believe this also means I can turn Wade's duties on and off from here, but I never got that far. Speaking of people I can hire, here I am making some schnapps for Jaxie Boy. I was looking for him. I didn't find him, so I activated the build mode, which pauses the game time, and I was able to fly around and look for him like this. After accepting this plum liqueur, Jax offered his upkeep services to make sure that the fires would never go out. For that purpose, he would use his tried and tested steam machine, the best in the business. Wherever the call reached, Jax would be there to keep the guests snug as a bug in a rug. So I read through Jax's duties, and he simply keeps my heaters topped up. The thing is, with the amount of looting and pillaging that I do, I've dumped hundreds of kindling into my heaters. I never actually needed to hire him, but I like this artwork introduction. It's the morning of day 79. 16 people have completed the stays across my resorts, and I made 7,300 from them. The daily money is looking good. I started to work on the eastern building now as well. The rooms were bigger because I didn't really want to cram anymore. However, I was starting to get cold feet over here, and I longed to go to Pinefall, so I prematurely headed over there, and I started to think about what I wanted to accomplish here. 3 buildings, 2 of which have an upstairs and the third one has a basement. I was also taken aback when I see, again, everything. But this place has a museum, bar and a campsite and an arcade to boot. How the hell am I gonna do this place? I also had to only clean up this campsite area for the game to prompt me, and now I'm able to buy those level 2 campsite stuff. I was going to abandon Winterberry and start on Pinefall, but seeing all these people pour in made me feel guilty, and I said, okay fine, I'm gonna finish off that one building at least. I mean, thus far, this place has been getting me a tremendous amount of 5-star reviews. I made a quick detour to finish off that camping area in High Lake. I made it level 2, so that looks very comfortable. People are enjoying hot dogs here now instead of marshmallows. I mean, why not both? And after some time, I finally finished the west building in Winterberry. One room had to be made into the reception because it was too small, but that is a total of 12 bedrooms stuffed downstairs. This is nice. Everyone is walking around, enjoying themselves, prompting them to leave 5-star reviews. By the way, if you were wondering, I have slapped the TV on the wall there, so people are indeed watching a banger when they're here. I'm currently at Pinefall, and I did some research. This place also needs a heater room, but only in the buildings where people will be sleeping. I've got 3, all of which have either an upstairs or a basement. Could I make one building for everything else and not bedrooms? So I start to work on the building with the basement in it, a kitchen on the right, a very big dining hall, distillery or bar room at the bottom left, and then a museum close to the stairs. I've not made a museum before, and it looks like I need to make a small display stand. I have it set up, but I need to speak to Barbara about what comes next, as this is part of a quest line. But this is what the place is looking like right now. Barbara is pleased with the construction of a museum. The last step is a fairly easy one. Take that special artifact and toss it into the display. Carefully, of course. We want to make sure to preserve all the secretness, whatever the hell that means. The steel feather of the bird god gets slapped into this thing. The museum is open for business, which is excellent news. She says there's more peculiar items around the valley I could potentially put into my museum, and to keep an eye out for them. Now Hank, there is one more important renovation we must do for everything else to be complete. It's gonna take a lot of effort on both our parts. A Pineful is back up and running. She needs me to make sure the customers keep coming so that we can raise 50,000 coins in investment. She said that last part really suspiciously. I'm starting to distrust Barbara. She said a couple of things in the past which makes me raise an eyebrow. Yes, Hank, investment for the future. I think she's swindling me. Couldn't be. She's just a sweet old lady, right? Yeah, she's robbing me. I'm calling it right now. She's fleecing me. That's okay. I'm an unsuspecting bear. Now here is a nice dialogue exchange, and I just saw that All My Hair has a quest for me. Hey, buddy. Oh, hello, my boy. Pleasure seeing you again. It's in the middle of the night and I'm gathering wood. I trust the building's gone smoothly. It has. You never thought we'd be turned into such many things? Oh yes, you could have carved into something useful like a chair, or something decorative like a chair, or turn it into a weapon like a chair? Yes, like a chair, exactly. Yes, it's a fine replacement for just about anything, except maybe a child of your own. Right, okay, that went dark. Oof, now that really came out of left field. But Hank keeps talking, and he says during his work and whatnot, he's made a little statue of himself for Tony here, who is delighted, and he would like to put it on his fridge. I just have to go and pick it up from the cabin. Damn it, Hank, what have you done now? Focus on the customers, Hank. For 19 guests, I have made just under 13,000. I am swimming in gold right now, and it's also day 84. I go back to Hank's house to see if there's any little bear carvings I could abscond with. I would be disappointed, however. Did Hank make a promise he can't keep? I have a feeling I just made a promise that I can't keep. But guess who I see? Oh, and he's sleeping there. Boy, is this Will? Hey, buddy. You strike me as a real leave the gun, take the cannoli kind of guy. Leave the gun and take the cannoli kind of guy. The hell does that mean? I am lost on this bear statue, so I go ahead and look at the quest log and, well... Are you serious? This quest is even called The Great Fall. Okay, they're just setting that up really hard to say, yeah, you're gonna get absolutely roasted by Barbara. I'm getting that impression. Well, best get on with my day job. I'm in the middle of the woods. I must have a great Wi-Fi signal, and I do all my bookings from here. Now back at Pineful, I moved some things around. A smaller dining area with the arcade down below it, and underground, which sounds pretty sick. People can watch their movies and read their books. This is what that huge plasma TV looks like. It is actually quite big, and this is how it looks like at the end. I tried to replicate a movie theater, but fun fact, I worked at a cinema for 7 years back in the day, and that's where the quieter humans can read their silly words on pages. Now they can do all that as I work out where they'll be sleeping. A heater room next to the toilet with some dead space in between, because people don't want to be too close to a heater room, and again all the bedrooms will have the doors leading outside. I'm doing my rounds as time goes by, and I find a daring human. My bro, it is like 10:30 at night, and he is this far away from everything. He's just out in the middle of the wilderness by himself. There's wolves out here, by the way, and he's just taking a photo of these trees. Fair enough, mate, you do you. On the topic of humans, look at this absolute disgrace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 pieces of rubbish there. These humans have absolutely no respect. On a more positive note, I have completed the quest to receive 20 more 5-star reviews at High Lake. This place is done. I get the achievement for it and some thick ski pants. Now at Pineful, I was looking for a place for the front desk. Well, why not outside in the camping ground? Put in the front desk here where the people come and have the hot dogs. I think that's a good time. I don't see why not. Alright, we have our 4 rooms here, people. Let's go ahead and do the stuff that we need for the bedrooms. 5 minutes later, I have them set up and ready to start receiving visitors so I can start crossing off the quests in this area. Pineful doesn't look cold, but I have this amazing heater in this building, and the rooms are 38 degrees. Yeah, she'll be right, mate. I mean, they want 24. Yeah, no, you're gonna get 38. Welcome to Australia, mate. That is not the worst that we get. We got 13,000 last night, and here come the first bunch of idiots coming from the place. They're all very happy that bears come to greet them. They don't seem to find that strange at all. Speaking of idiots, at least 25 of them have left 5-star reviews at Winterberry, so this place is done as well. Achievement of course, and a nice cozy hat. Yeah, there we go, now I look very dapper. Go you merry humans. I like it. Okay, here we go. I think I was going to say you filthy animals just then. Yeah, that's accurate. I had a worry. I've jam-packed this buffet with a whole bunch of spare food I found before hiring Julia, but those bedrooms in Pinefall, they weren't registering the food quantity for them, which was really odd. I mean, they are walking in here and helping themselves to the bar area. Okay, so you've gone and grabbed some food. Don't just toss it on the floor, you animal. Can I like maul this guy? Apparently not. So yeah, that looks like he grabbed some food, right? I wasn't going to worry about it right now. What I wanted to do was go and fix up all those broken things around the map, like this big tractor in Pinefall and the stone bear bench close by. Oh my god, there's actually a bear sitting there. So humans can enjoy a private chat with an understanding bear. Fair enough. Okay, they can do that then, can they? Well, I won't stop them. What's kind of stopping me in my tracks is that I see my reviews are a solid 4. I will eventually need lots of 5 stars to complete this game, and I was thinking that dining room kitchen not working properly with the guests was the problem. Checking out the room sections, they have access to the cinema, lounge and the arcade, but why not the food? I ignored this problem even more and continued looking at the map in the build menu to see if I can find any more statues. This is not a statue but a broken down sea-going vessel, and it really takes me back to my 100% dredge video. This last snow statue I find is done, and the achievement to do them all is now over. I am in the end game now, so I am hunting these down. I've got 28 out of 43 at this time. I did my last look into the kitchen research, and I've decided just to move the entire kitchen and dining room section to the same building with the bedrooms. I see now these ones downstairs have access to the food, which should fix my problem. A fun fact for you, as I was writing this, I looked this up again. It turns out I could have just left the kitchen where it was. I just needed a dining room in this building, because a dining room comes with a buffet, so that would have sorted everything out. But no, past me went ahead thinking I needed to make another kitchen in the other building as well. Bugger. This is what the upstairs ended up looking like in this bedroom building. I still make some time to greet the people coming in from the bus shelters. They all have a smiley face on their dials these days. I have a quest here in Pinefall. Complete the stay for 10 plus guests here. I originally thought that meant just have another people come and go and you're done. No, this one means I need to have 10 people staying here at the exact same time. I was neglecting doing the second building as I didn't want to make a whole extra kitchen and dining room. So here I am just randomly setting up another building so I can get this job done. This makes Julia a very expensive employee. I'm gonna slow down the footage, but it looks like she does indeed charge you for each buffet you have. So far, I'm paying $840 per day for her services here, for something I think can be sorted with a communal dining room, just like all the other special rooms. I mean, people go to a restaurant, right? Anyways, I complete that last building haphazardly, and I do see that I get that job done. So it was indeed 10 people staying here at the same time. Finn now mentions that people need entertainment facilities, and Hank recalls Oliver talked about games way back when. Also, this notice board here says I need to have 50 people stay here, which is over time, so that's going to take a bit. In the meantime, Oliver is pleased that I've dropped by to say hello. I tell him that I'm looking for entertainment, and he says that games are the way to go. Nothing better than working all day driving the buses and then going home and playing Bus Simulator. This guy is a riot. He offers me some of his old games, given that I can give him some CDs to copy them onto. Fun fact, I already have these in my storage. I've pretty much explored the entire map by this point. He copies me one of his childhood favorites, but he says I'm gonna need something to play it on, of course. He also sells a few games at his little store now, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some purchases. Back at Pinefall and at the Pawn Voyage truck thing, I see that the arcade machines have become available. I set up an arcade room where their first dining room dud was, and it's all good to go. With the setup of this final room, that is the last quest done for Finn, and he finally says goodbye to me. I have received the achievement to do all of his stuff. After that, I did a little bit of research. Do you remember that one time when I had to get someone something? I think it was like a small plant, and I didn't know where to get it, and it turns out I just had to buy it from, this place. Well, guess what else I just have to buy from here? A small bear carving. Tony is emotional at this gift. Any father would be ecstatic to receive such a thing from anyone, including members outside of their immediate family. He gives me something in return, a small bag of ball bearings. This is a quest item. It might be something that belongs in a museum. Indeed, I see for Charlotte a quest has revealed itself. I just have to go get those charcoal lilies as well. I was on my way there when I see this tadpole had a quest for me. She used to visit the old arcade near the lighthouse. They used to have the coolest games, and she's asking me to bring a game for her. Well, I had just bought all those things from Oliver's shop before, and turns out one of those things is what she's looking for. I do a lot of these quests by accident, and I can always hand them in straight away. She gives me an old magnet as a reward. Now, guess who has 2 things to give to Charlotte to transmute for me? I just have to get a whole bunch of these ugly lilies. I gave her these steel marbles to her that Tony gave me, and she goes on about the hard-working father figure, or how the figure can vary from family to family. But of course, I've never met mine. Have I? And no, madam. But how did you know? She replied, it's her business to know everything, as she's the bog witch. She gives me a new museum piece, but her dialogue about Hank not knowing his kin really struck a chord with me. Hank lives with his mum and then with Will and Annie. Is there a papa in the picture by chance? Next, she gave me back that magnet, and in general, magnets are actually pretty fascinating. Probably the only interesting thing that's going to be in my museum. Well, I have a feather, steel balls, and a magnet. Riveting stuff. Also, there's a guy enjoying the arcade right now. Look at him go. It's the morning of day 93, and at this time I have 50,000 in my pockets. I know, because Barbara's thing down below is crossed off, and I can hand in this request. I really wasn't sure that I wanted to. Well, look at all these people just streaming in. This is actually some good footage. Look at this. That's amazing. Well, I'm sure Hank is happy that he's been able to make so many other people happy. Look at all those faces. Now, to this face. Have I collected all those coins? Wow, this is quite the accomplishment. More money she ever dreamed about earning herself, even before everything went belly up. The regime fell, and everything came crashing down after it. No one came back for us. For a while, I wasn't even sure there was anyone left who would. The world collapsed. Our world collapsed. All that was left were run-down buildings and piles of garbage, and me, alone, ever since. Well, not until Hank has been bringing people back to this place. Who knew that after all these years, it would be the forest that would come back for me? So now, that conversation has just finished. 50,000 gone. Now what? Okay. Did I give you the 50? Why did I give you 50,000? Okay. Oh, hello. Nice of you to remember to visit. I swear, I barely left. It's alright, it's already behind us. What are you talking about, love? In fact, if you'd like to make it up to me, I have a very simple request. I don't like what Barbara's doing. I don't like the way that conversation just started. Did you catch her unimpressed look? Anyways, she says that the old lighthouse I visited way back when is a disgrace to our efforts. It's hideous and repulsive in its current state. If I'm serious about turning this valley around, it's important that this mistake gets remedied. Her whole demeanor has changed to me. She's bloody callous. She also says I need to go fetch the old lighthouse lens on the beach, using a crowbar to get into the old forgotten shipment location. Alright then. I get the achievement called Unforeseen Consequences. Excuse me, come again? Never mind all that. I waddled down to the beach, used the crowbar on this gate area, and found the lens inside. With it, Barbara says it's very close now. She can feel it. The valley becoming whole again. All this work and effort for so long. Love, you did nothing. She says I need to head to Whitestone with enough resources to fix that lighthouse. It is important that I do so quickly. I really don't like that image of Barbara. Now, quick as a jiffy, I was able to fix this lighthouse because I'm bloody Hank the Bear. With a faint click and a loud hum, it suddenly turned on. The bear's just plugging the thing in. The giant lens at the top shined out into the distance like a beacon, like it's supposed to. Ooh. Look at him. Boats and ships could once again approach Silver Valley. Okay. Oh, that's a masterpiece. I'm also instructed to go back to Barbara, who is no longer here. She's gone. Just the hat remains. Where could she have gone to? Maybe she took a bus, Hank thinks to himself. I'm gonna go ask Ollie. Before asking Ollie that, he's apparently having a conversation about game file sizes these days, which prompts me to say this. I can tell you right now, the biggest game I have ever seen in my... how old am I now? Somewhere in my 30s? The biggest game I've seen to this date is Ark Survival Evolved. Not the Ascended version, I've not bothered with that one because I'm not buying the same game twice. No, but the original Ark was what, 360 gigabytes or something? It's huge! But a lot of that has come down to poor optimization, which Wildcard never fixed up, which is also why I never went with the Ascended version. Moving on. Oh, sorry about my tangent there. Anyways, he says if I have a golden CD, I should give it to him and he can sell me a new game. I already had the CD and I have to point this out. The game is currently prioritizing this quest over the Barbara quest. It's a bit, anticlimactic. Okay, Oliver, can we please talk about Barbara? You know, the nice old lady with the green hat? No, he hasn't. Okay, damn it. How about I go ask Beanie? She might have seen her from her tower. Sure. Beanie saw her running through the forest a few hours ago, but Beanie simply says she pays her no attention as she always ignored her. It's always been that way, which, come to think of it, is actually really odd. Barbara winched that she was all by herself for so very long, but Beanie and Oliver have been here the whole bloody time, so far as I know. Anyways, she says she was on her way to the beach from the looks of it. While I am in a hurry chasing Barbara to the ends of the earth, I stopped to peruse my pager to make sure that my people, they will have a place to stay. This is my #1 priority. I am a bear that looks after his people. Hank finally waddles his way down to the beach. The quest marker leads me onto the wharf. I find a postcard here, but no sign of Barbara, no sign of her anywhere. This postcard talks to me. Yeah, that little boat that's usually here is gone as well. What did you say? No mate, that's probably just your imagination, because who uses postcards anymore? Am I right? Barbara's probably running around, looking for increasingly suspicious things like any normal old lady would. Yeah, silly old ladies. A silly old bear, actually. Since when do inanimate objects have a two-way conversation? Huh, mate? Always? I always talk to my favorite objects. Yeah? Well, how do you know I'm your favorite? Haven't flipped me over yet to see what I say on the backside. In a minute. Oh, I'm in no rush. I've got the rest of your life. Jesus, I'm getting roasted by a postcard. Alright, let's flip it over. Sitting on the multi-ordered wooden deck in front of Hank was a small, colourful postcard. To the back it said, Dear Mrs. Barbara Ferrier, thank you for contacting Pawn Voyage about an exciting expansion opportunity in Silver Valley. Is that Finn? A representative will be sent on site at your earliest convenience. Although the people of Silver Valley have always been a welcoming and hospitable community, interesting. We appreciate the severity of renovations required in the area and welcome your assistance in rebuilding your beloved home. I see, so okay, this is the pieces are coming together now. Your contributions to our development efforts will not go unrecognized. Upon completion of your premium partnership duties, you'll be eligible for a one-way ticket aboard our world-class cruiser line. We look forward to offering you the escape of a lifetime. So I got used by Barbara, did I? Yes, I did. That's my understanding. Barbara contacted Pawn Voyage to help fix this place up. She used Hank to do all the work and then just took the reward and buggered off. I'm back home and my family are comforting me. It's not your fault, dear. You didn't do anything wrong. If she wanted to leave, she was going to do so anyway. It wasn't because of you. Will says that she's gone for good, buddy. Do you want to go trash her place? Let's go trash her place. Mate, I love Will's enthusiasm. Hank is of course a very sad bear. He helped her with everything. He helped her get to the bottom of whatever she was looking for. Fixing the cabins, the resorts, everything. Hank's broken spirit brings a tear to everyone's eye. She just left. After some consoling, the family leave Hank to get some rest. You did help her, Hank, but not in the way you thought. But what is Hank supposed to do now? Low-key fella, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. Everyone is gone. So, what's next? Okay, my quest tracker is updated with Ask Jax about Cyan the Binturong. The hell is that? And why am I asking him about that? I head over to him, not really sure where this quest came from, but sure, I'm gonna go with it. He asks me, what's up? And I have the option. What's with the old building to the west? It's an old mountain shelter, built long before any of the ski cabins were, but now it's just home to a sorrowful fate. Inside lives Cyan, an elder bear cat that's been there for a very long time. He keeps to himself usually. Okay then. A quick post-production insert here. The game is going to come a little bit out of left field with the story, so bear with it. And this is him in the house at the western end of Winterberry. So what was he, a bear cat? Yeah, that definitely looks like an otter. Well, he does have a magnificent handlebar mustache with crazy eyes. He doesn't like idle chatter, so my guy offers to make him a meal. For starters, he says that he wants honey. 5 seconds later, I have brought him the sweet nectar of the gods. He's pleased and he gives me a broken mirror, which I'm probably going to put into the museum later. We keep chatting and I tell him I know that his name is Cyan, which actually enrages the fella. No one dares speak that name anymore. A long story short, the fella has been here for ages. He's always cold, unable to pass, but feeling like a corpse because he's cold. He's also aware that I'm the fella that has been fixing all those lodges that have brought all those demons back. Hank tries to change the conversation to what Cyan possibly does. What does he do? He does nothing. He sits there, always cold, and he does nothing. Again, the conversation turns to food, and Hank offers to warm him up with a meal. Cyan rejects that's possible, and Hank simply says, challenge accepted. I'll get to that, but that mirror has been transmuted into a mirror of truth. Charlotte then gets cheeky. She increases the prices of these transactions, which actually doesn't bother me. I usually just go ahead and buy all the charcoal lilies I need. I also had to buy a hearty soup recipe to warm the brittle bones of an otter bear cat thing. I go ahead and I bring this to him. He says that my efforts have been quite futile. Futile and savory. Give it here. Well, that meal was so damn good, I unlocked one of his old memories he's long forgotten. Oh yes, there isn't anything in the world quite as magnificent as finding a shady branch on a hot summer morning. At the end of the day, it's still only you that needs to be satisfied. So being mindful of the branches in life is a good idea. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is nothing at all. But as I quickly learned, that philosophy only works when you're content with the little that you're born with. My regularly scheduled nothing was abruptly interrupted one day by those that are never content. They chased me for hours, and finally they cornered and trapped me. I was suddenly just a trophy, as something to be taken and sold, forever doomed to a life of nothing by force. If it were just a few years ago, Cyan would have loved the idea of just walking away, but now he has nothing to return to. Time has passed him and the world over. The creature that came here is gone, and so it's at home. It was replaced by me, and I live in this rundown old house. Hank is thinking what you're thinking, but Cyan says he will not debate this. There are dark forces you do not understand that govern this world. They sometimes torment my dreams and bother my sleep. The answers you seek are behind doors, locked by these forces. You must find 3 horned devils by the sea. They will lead you to where you wish to go. Okay, what was that all about then? I am walking to the beach to see these 3 horned devils. This last little bit of the story came out of nowhere, but I'm gonna go with it. These are the 3 horned devils. The flight, because it's 3 bats. They start chatting about how juicy and tender Hank looks to eat. Hank takes this as a compliment and simply asks them, do you know anything about dark forces? Oh, whoa there, big fella. They were just talking about eating Hank, and meaning their bellies are empty and they want something to eat before they talk. So, god damn it, here I am making peach cobblers for 3 devils. I have 3 of them, so that should satisfy this flight. So, what do you know? Has he come to you? Has he talked to you? They ask Hank. Who exactly? Well, the bloody prince, that's who, the sanguinary sovereign, the bird god. Well, Hank has had some strange dreams lately, which prompts him to say he has visited me. It is his usual way to reach someone. Now, Hank is both scared but also doesn't believe a word these guys are saying. Listen, bear, if you're so sure he doesn't exist, we challenge you to prove that he doesn't exist. Go to the Forbidden Forest, the Dark Grove, and in the east I will find the entrance to a cave, and find them evidence that he doesn't exist. Now, hang on a minute. I've been there before, right? Oh. What evidence do I have? The red feather? For goodness sake. So these guys are like, you bring us proof that he does not exist. And I'm like, okay, well, a little while ago, I was in that cave just doing a little bit of spelunking. And, well, there you go, I found this feather. But you didn't even go. I didn't leave this room just yet. I did actually, I found this feather. You what? Found feather? A feather from him? Must have been. This is it. This proves everything. We knew it. Or you were right to be scared. Your body felt it before your mind caught up. That fear in your spine was just your survival instinct trying to save you. If only you knew better to even try. The bird god is real. The bloody prince of darkness lives. He roams the dark caves. We knew. We saw him with our own eyes. We did. He has a dark figure, bloodshot eyes, and giant scaly wings. His monstrous wings shed bloody feathers every day, making way for new ones. His sharp claws and needle-like jaws can even tear through, a coconut. Yes. Oh, right, the bats are messing with Hank, and he will bring his wrath upon this world once again. All hail the bird god. This is evidence, so obviously these three stooges want me to go and find him. They give me a key, however, that they found in the area, which may lead to something there. This also gets me the achievement to learn about the bird god. Honestly, I'm not too sure what the hell's going on, and I'm just kind of going with it. I'm in that dark cave, and I remember this iron gate here, but it needs the iron key. The one that I have has a fuzzy charm to it, so this is not a match. So deeper into this cave I go, absconding with some charcoal lilies, because I could. And hidden in this passage, I find another door, with the requirement for my weird fuzzy key. Inside, I think I find my quarry, red feathers and a black body, though it's not as scary as the bat's legends, of course. Vlad talks to me. Vlad. The bird's name is Vlad. What, Vlad the Impaler? It's about time already. I've been waiting for ages. Hello? Well, don't just stand there with a smart look on your face. I'm famished. Am I gonna feed this bird as well? Not a bird. God. King. Lord Emperor. Pick your favorite. So long as I feed him. Okay. This bird god fella wants some beets in some shape or form. Well, beets are his color. Before I head back, I pillage all of his belongings. He's not gonna stop me, I'm Hank the Bear. So I'm making that avian thing some beet chips, which should satisfy his royal appetite, which he says himself is something to appease that royal stomach. Well, he likes to talk a lot of crap about being royalty, and that he's been waiting. And I ask him, why have you been waiting in this cave for this long? Because of preparations, of course. He was chosen as next in line for the divine throne by his loyal followers. They came to my home and took me on my regal trip towards my new kingdom. It was quite a brutal journey, even by servant standards. For the good of the realm and my own protection, the guards brought me here to the imperial dark cellar, and here I would await the ceremony preparations to be complete. I should be summoned for my coronation shortly. They do like to take their sweet time. Oh, I see. Well, poor fella. At least you're not the bloodthirsty bird god looking to hunt me for sport. Yeah, the poor bird, he thinks he's been brought here as some sort of royal bird. He was taken from his home, and this is how he copes with that. So I pass this information on to the Three Stooges. No gods there. Maybe just a lonely bird. That's impossible. It seems they're a little bit upset with this revelation. They also talk about the vision they had in their dreams, to which Hank simply says maybe we all need to stop having some late night food before bedtime. They say they no longer have dreams, not since the night of the fire and after that bear died. Wait, hold up. What bear? Hank is surprised by this. There are no other bears here, except for himself and Mama, of course, but they claim there was one who died in the fire. How do you know about that? Well, Hank doesn't know, and he begs to know the identity of this other bear. But this conversation stops right there. The flight aren't interested in chatting with him anymore, so off I go to talk to Mum about this burning question. He tells her he doesn't remember the fire back then, he was too little, but this conversation has Mum worried, and of course she asks me for a cuppa before sitting me down and having this chat. The gameplay at this time keeps making me loop back towards making something to eat with these quest givers. It's a bit tedious if I'm honest. Anyways, Mum, is there something you're not telling me? I've always told you that your name came from the spirits, Hank. Well, in a way, it did. It was your brother who picked it. His name was Artie, and he was the best kid anyone could have ever asked for. All the nonsense and myths about gods, they're all just stories to scare children. But I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't pray to them that evening. Oh, that night. The night of the fire. The universe was merciless. The sky felt so heavy even before the sun set. You could tell that death was in the air. Artie was afraid the fire would spread and he left to save his friends. He never came back. All we found was his burnt hat and torn clothes, pierced by these black stone needles. The fire went for over a week and we ran and ran until we managed to escape here in this little corner of the woods. This is where we finally stopped the rest. It was just the two of us from then on, trying to survive. You and me and the pain that kept us company all these years. I shouldn't have let him go. Hank is speechless, obviously. Mum apologizes for not telling him about this earlier, but Hank understands. She has something that reminds her of Artie, and she thinks it's time she passes it on to me. It's the Onyx Tine, and I get the achievement to learn about the other bears in the valley. Now, for a short time, Hank gets back into doing what he does best. I'm following the quest line here in Pinefall. I have to host a few people with certain traits for the next quest. Gus is currently waiting for his first shift, and for the time being, he's enjoying the easy life, driving a pretend car. God bless his possum soul. Now, I've done a few random quests for people. They were all mostly fetch quests, and they'd given me things that could have been transmuted into museum items, and I've now tossed them all into this room. Moving back to that storyline, Mum had given me an Onyx Tine, and by sheer coincidence, I also see a door here and dark growth that requires it. The door has a mysterious stag carving. I head inside, not really sure what I'm going to find, and then I lay eyes on a magnificent looking fox, I guess. You take great risk for coming here, says Eris. Hank asks what it is, and it shouts him down, saying he's only to speak when permitted. It says I'm just as guilty as them for opening the way again. What you mean, the people? Yes, they are a walking, talking plague upon this world. To be fair, they do leave a lot of garbage, also known as valuables to me. They have great capability for both creation and also destruction. They do not value other life around them unless it benefits them. Their stupidity brought immeasurable destruction to this land. Eris also says that animals are nothing if not less destructive humans, not seeking to live beyond their means. Survival is both a noble and self-sustainable goal that animals do not seek to overstep. They are more sincere and less volatile than humans, which is why the god aspects keep their animal forms. Wait, we're talking about gods again? Yes, and they are the aspects of the world, concentrated into a conscious form. We are not born, we are an accumulation of energies emitted by the universe. Eris is indeed one of them. She is the god of disorder and fear. Our world has another four. Naturally, I ask Eris which one of the gods looks like a bird. I tell her I saw him in my dreams, and Eris says that is impossible. She tells me the story of the gods, but I'm gonna get to the important part. Eris is disorder and the abundance of fear it carries. Vara nurtures regret and envy. Erebos reflects both wisdom and skill, although not exactly in high demand as of late. Tine perpetuates violence and apathy, forces that have no trouble thriving on their own, though suspiciously dormant for a while. And then there's Kai, the bird-looking god, the oldest of us, who exists through the accumulation of order and light, both of which have been extremely dim in recent times, and that is how the universe is governed, in harmony. However, a disruption has occurred recently to that harmony, though Eris doesn't know exactly what it is. But it is strong. Humans have enacted an amount of pain and destruction of overwhelming proportions. Kai has been missing since. Hank tells Eris about the dream he had, the one from the beginning of the game. Before he disappeared, Kai left a relic to Eris, an onyx stone darker than the night. Since I somehow found her, Eris wants me to take this and go and find where this onyx stone could be used to find Kai. So as this was late at night, I looked up where this elusive god could be hiding. He is behind this pile of rocks, and I also had to buy a jeweler's kit for the excavation for some reason. However, I felt that entering this cave would end the game, and I still had some quests to complete in Pinefall, so I played a few sessions off camera getting all these goals. But I was also mortified that I needed to get 30 extra 5-star reviews, and you can take a wild guess at how many days that took. But eventually I get the task done, and that is the final quest I had to do in the game that was tied to any of my resorts. I got the dapper flat cap as a reward. I am one handsome bear. So this dapper looking bear is heading to Hollowgate, where the final story lies. Oh, hey buddy. You're the fellow that was in my dreams in the very beginning of the game, weren't you? Yes, you were. Kai. Hello. Hey there, nice birdie. Thank you. It's like a demigod and I'm like, nice birdie. He's like, oh, cheers, mate. Hank straight away complains that he didn't do anything. But Kai says, nah, fella, you did. More than you know. But he says, I don't need to worry. I'm not in danger. I tell Kai that I found him thanks to that fox. However, Eris provided stability for the world while he was absent. Where were you exactly? Well, right here in fact, unable to leave. Weakened and imprisoned over the course of years. Before this world had been plunged into disarray. Not just a simple chaos that thrives within its own borders that usually balances itself out. No, this was a complex cycle of cruelty and death, orchestrated by another god, Time, the embodiment of violence. He had found a way to lure humans into a false sense of power, permeated through his own potential. Humans are a perfect vessel to imbue with a deceiving dominance. As the violence spread, Time grew stronger, but luckily it was also the humans that provided the opposing force required. This all led to a boiling energy that eventually had no more space to accumulate, and as such, it finally erupted. Wait, the night of the fire? Yes, that is correct. Was that why it happened? Were you there, Kai? Did you see any bears? Did you see my brother? Back then, a clear night had fallen over the valley. The darkness settled over all the humans, animals, and nature in this corner of the world. The tensions that had been building up over days, months and years was not visible, but it was perceptible. Without a moment of hesitation, the violence erupted. Brutality and rage exploded with savage momentum, engulfing everything in their path. Humans fighting each other, answering violence, with little regard for any of their surroundings. As this was happening, invisible to the mortal eye, my confrontation with Tyne had begun. A celestial skirmish that would determine more than just the outcome of this clash. It would define the shape of this world and its immediate future. If violence and pain would continue their reign, there would be little left to share between either humans, animals, or gods. I did, however, catch a glimpse of someone else in that moment. Your brother was indeed present at the time of our conflict. His was a valiant effort to aid the victims of this wave of violence, but his outer shell proved too fragile to endure the brutality that ensued. Indeed, Tyne struck with a force so powerful, almost nothing could confront it. In the aftermath of our clash, everything turned white as if struck by lightning, then dark, as if that had been the last silver of light to ever exist. The battle had no clear winners, only unmistakable losers on all sides. I do not know what Tyne's fate was, but I do know that he fared slightly better than I had, if only just. I had collapsed here at the top of Hollow Gate, too weak to rise. I know Tyne still had some residual strength, for it was he that imprisoned me in these onyx shackles, and to make sure that I could not leave by any means, he locked me behind his dark sorcery, placing an onyx fawn at the entrance as an unbreakable bond, the mirror of his youthful innocence. This is where I began my slumber, trying to recover what little power I could, until someone could break the stone and break the curse. It turns out that someone was Hank the Bear. So what happens now? That is not ours to know, but the universe's. With that, I unlock the achievement to learn about Kai's fate, and I go home. My quest log is empty, but the final achievement I have to unlock is sleep is overrated and I need to wake up. Wait, has this all been a dream? Well, Hank takes a little nap and I've got some good news. This wasn't all a dream. I read something up and I quickly start a new save file. I have that creepy dream where Kai was paying me a visit again, and on this occasion, when I wake up, I get the achievement. Okay, I guess it glitched when I played my first save file. I've unlocked all achievements in this game, and funny enough, the sleep is overrated. That was the one I was supposed to get first. You can see this is the very last one I got. I met Sharky Boy on May 22nd, so it's taken me about a month to play this game. Okay, cool. Well, I got them all in the end. Hey Musketeer, cheers for checking out my 100% beer and breakfast video. I had a blast playing this one. Do you want more by chance? How about a 100% potion permit video? Or While the Iron's Hot? Or what about Dave the Diver? Until next time, one for all and all for one. Cheers Musketeers.